fans, I'm Rick Mooney and welcome to a very special edition of Holland Speedway's Thunder in the Hills. Tonight, we present the most anticipated race in Western New York for 1991, the Busch 150 for the Grand National North Series cars. While names like Craven, Obie, McCabe, Hirschman, Clark, Moore, Bouchard, Bessie, Fadden, and Rao, they're the stars of NASCAR's elite Northeast traveling circuit. But most eyes tonight will be on our own local stars who are trying to crack the starting grid this evening in their own Busch cars. Local drivers Gary Schwab, Dean Ferry, Steve Hoddick, and the much experienced Tim Bender are out to prove that they have the right stuff and talented equipment to compete at the high banks at Holland. You know, our four local stars really have the same goal as the aforementioned Busch North regular drivers, Winston Cup Racing, the premier race division in North America. The right brakes and patience are needed for this dream. But remember, dreams oftentimes turn to reality. Is the Daytona 500 within the grasp of any of our 32 entries tonight? Well, we think so. As you gaze around the pit area tonight, there's just too much talent collected here for someone not to realize that dream. Hey, race time is upon us, featuring our own premier division, the NASCAR Late Model Pro Stocks, plus the Chargers, V6 Modifieds, and Challengers. Then, of course, the Busch 150 and the Grand National North cars and stars. It's going to be a wild one, folks. Now let's go up to race control for our first event. The field of cars of the first Challenger heat taking to the high bank 3/8 mile oval at Holland Speedway this evening, and the way they'll be lining up to start this one. Up in front in car number 33. It's the Chevelle of Mike Chapman out of Springville. On his outside in car number 55, Nolan King of Arcade. Row number 2 on the inside. Car number 5 is Dean Stanbro. And flanking him on the outside of row number 2 is the 76 of Billy Kane from Hamburg. Row number 3 to the inside, piloting the Wing Motors number 9, it's Rick Winger of Blaisdell. On his outside, in car number 42, Joe Eck out of Buffalo. Row number 4 to the inside, in the Price Enterprises, number 37, Eddie Murray from Buffalo. On his outside, car number 12, Herschel Two Guns from Gowanda. Row number 5, a new entry here in the former John Price ride, renumbered 09. We'll have to check a name on that driver. On his outside, car number 87, Don Hochstein out of Buffalo. And the last row on the inside, car number 19 on the inside is Jerry Byrne of West Seneca. On his outside, in the white and red car, there's a number on the roof, but nothing on the door panel that you can see facing the grandstand. It's car number 74, first time out in 1991 for Pat Scanlon out of Salamanca. Starter Dale Easterly brings out the white flag. We'll be going green the next time by. Here they come out of turn number 4, picking up the pace to get the green flags, and we are racing. On the break, Noel King takes the early lead in car number 55. Billy Kane in the 76 moves up to challenge Mike Chapman in the 33 for second place. King skating up high through turns 3 and 4 as the field of challengers completes lap number 1. We understand the driver of the 09 this evening is John Gast in the 09. And going back to the front of the field, it's Nolan King continuing to show the way with Billy Kane now putting on the pressure in second place in car 76. Joe Eck up to run third in the 42. And here comes Rick Winger in the 9, pulling up to the outside of Mike Chapman's 33 in the race for spots 4 and 5. Nolan King, in his rookie year of competition in this entry-level Challenger division, continues to lead as we click off lap number 3 this time around. Joe Eck now moving up high in car number 42 has passed Billy Kane for second place. Eck moving up to challenge Nolan King for the number 1 spot. Eck getting way up high through turns 3 and 4. King working the inside lane and out of turn number 4 to reach the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go. King and Eck are side by side into turn number 1 as they race out of turn 2. Joe Eck has moved into the lead in car 42. Joe Eck, your new race leader in car 42. Rick Winger in car 9 moving up to challenge Nolan King for 2nd place. Eck has now extended his lead to that of about 5 car lengths over the Nolan King 55. Rick Winger in car number 9 looking to move to the inside of Nolan King for 2nd place. Joe Eck looking for the parallel flags, this time biased behind Winger in the 9 and King in the 55 make a little contact. Winger races on by to grab the number 2 spot. The parallel flags are showing. 2 laps remaining in this qualifying heat. Joe Eck has now opened up a bit of a lead advantage in car number 42. Nearly half a straightaway over the runner-up number 9 of Rick Winger. Joe Eck looking for his first checkered flag. Eck in his rookie year of competition in this Challenger division. Under the white flag, 1 to go in this first Challenger qualifying heat. And trouble in turn 2 is Eddie Murray looping his ride, but he rates himself and will continue on. Out of turn number 4, looking at the checkers, it's the 42 of Joe Eck. Finishing 2nd is the Rick Winger, number 9. 3rd place is the 55 of Nolan King. Billy Kane in the 76 is 4th, and the 5 of Dean Stanbro completes the top 5.
Just been advised that we have a blue Cavalier out in the parking lot up near the front toward the bleacher area. License plate number EXM384. Your 4-way flashers are on. Blue Cavalier EXM384. 4-way flashers are blinking on your car. That's the way you want to find it afterwards, fine, but we just thought we'd let you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, in victory lane, his first Holland Speedway checkered flag, it's Joe Eck. The field of cars for qualifying heat number 2 for the Challengers taking to the Speedway. 8 laps will be the distance and the way they're lining up. In the front, it's the number 68 of Gil Myers out of Buffalo in the South Buffalo Auto-sponsored ride. He'll be joined in the front row by the number 27 of Dave Nelligan out of Java Center in the Village Pub-sponsored machine. Row 2 to the inside is car number 25, Mike Connor of Orchard Park. On his outside in car number 14 is Mike Flagg of Buffalo. Row 3 to the inside in the Nickel City Glass, number 85, Patrick Eck of Blaisdell. On his outside in the AA1 Auto Wrecking, number 95, Danny Martinez for Lackawanna. Row 4 inside lane is the 07, Jeff Graff of Strikersville. On his outside in car number 1, it's the Mac Tool sponsored ride of Neil Hopkins of West Falls. Row 5 inside lane, first time feature winner a week ago. In the Bryant and Stratton sponsored number 39, it's Mike Jivitin of West Seneca. On his outside in the Price Enterprises number 89, John Price of Buffalo. Car number 24 is on the inside of the next row. That's the Draper Trucking ride, a fast Freddie Groff of Arcade. On his outside in the Bills Collision number 84, Brian Reichel of Buffalo. Last row inside lane. Car number 34 from West Seneca, that's Awesome Al Grimmer. And on his outside in car 66 from Delavan, Rich Morgan. 14 cars set to go 8 laps in qualifying heat number 2 for the entry-level division of racing here at Holland Speedway, the Challenger division. As they pass the acceleration stripe in turn 4, they pick up the pace, awaiting the green flags. The green flags are out, and we are racing. It's Dave Nelligan motoring into the early lead in car number 27. Back in the pack, 3 abreast action coming out of turn number 2 down the back chute. Neil Hopkins, Johnny Price, and Mike Jivitin all looking for running room back in the pack. And we have some trouble. Danny Martinez getting bounced into the guardrail on the high side of turn number 4. A little bit of fender rubbing going on throughout the pack, and in domino effect, Martinez is the one that got kicked aside, and the caution flag is being shown as Martinez finally straightens his car out and will rejoin the rear of the field in the AA1 Auto Wrecking number 95. But the caution flag showing on the Speedway as we slow the field down, and we'll regroup them for a restart. 1 lap has been recorded. 7 laps under green remain in the second Challenger Division qualifying heat. Next week at Holland Speedway, it's Kendall Oil Night at the track, and it will also be our annual junior starter contest, as current junior starter Andy Rusto will be passing on the checkered flags to his successor. That will be determined next week. Junior starter night and Kendall Oil Night right here at Holland Speedway. Race time next Saturday night, 6 o'clock. The white flag being shown to the field. They're doubling it up for a 2x2 restart. Dave Nelligan in the 27 and the 68 of Gil Myers pairing up in the front row. Patrick Eck in the 85, Mike Connor in the 25 in row number 2. Jeff Graff in the 07, Mike Flagg in the 14 in row 3. Freddie Groff in the 24, Brian Reichel in the 84 in row 4. Row 5, it's Al Grimmer in the 34, Neil Hopkins in the 1, followed by Rich Morgan in car 66, Danny Martinez in the 95, John Price in the 89, and Mike Jividan is out of action in car number 39. Out of turn number 4, the green flag is out, and we are racing once again. Nelligan resumes command in car number 27. Patrick Keck in the 85 ducks to the inside of Gil Myers down the back chute. Racing into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, Nelligan continues to set the pace. Eck running second. Jeff Graff has moved to the inside of Gil Myers to claim the show position. Moving down the back chute. Nelligan continues to set the pace. Patrick Eck and Jeff Graff moving up to challenges. Those top 3 cars just starting to pull away from the rest of the field just a little bit here as we work on lap number 5 in this Challenger qualifying heat. Eck has moved to the inside of Nelligan. Eck trying to establish position into turn number 3 in the inside lane. Gets the rear, hung out just a little bit, and Nelligan continues to set the pace. But here comes Jeff Graff on the outside in the 07. Graff has made a move around Patrick Eck for the number 2 position. Graff now challenging Dave Nelligan for the lead. We have cars dancing up in turn number 2. Al Grimmer in the 34 and Danny Martinez in the 95 have spun. Up in front under the parallel flags. It's Jeff Graff making the move to the outside of Dave Nelligan. Dave Nelligan and Graff are side by side into turn number 3. Graff making his move out of turn number 4. Jeff Graff has now taken command under the white flag. 1 to go. Mike Connor in trouble down the back chute has made contact with the guardrail as we continue under green flag conditions. Graff out in front in the 07. Nelligan working in second. Eck is third in the 85. They'll be looking for the checkers this time by. It's going to be Jeff Graff with the victory in the 07. Nelligan finishes second. Patrick Eck is third. Gil Myers fourth. Brian Reichel finishes fifth. So Jeff Graff making his move on the next to last lap. First he disposes of Patrick Eck, then he races by Dave Nelligan to pick up the victory here in Challenger qualifying heat number 2. In the Oldsmobile number 07, ladies and gentlemen, your heat race winner, it's Jeff Graff.
First qualifying heat of the evening for the NASCAR Charger Division. On the pole, car number 1, Phil Lamonte. On the outside of the front row, it's Kevin Galligan, car number 02. Second row on the inside, it'll be car number 22, Tony Calverley from Sardinia. And on the outside of him, it'll be Bob Slippy, car number 10. Third row on the inside, Jimmy Scora, car number 6. Car number 53 is Mike Wiedemann from Sardinia, New York. And car number 00 pulling into his starting position is Al Conti. First of 2 qualifying events for the Charger division of cars. Phil Lamonte, your pole car, car number 1. Kevin Galligan on the outside in 02. Tony Calverley in 22. Bob Slippy in 10. Jim Scora, car number 6. Mike Wiedemann in 53 and the 00 of Al Conti. Cars gathering into formation over there in turn number 3 and 4. They take the white flag this time by, indicating they should take green the next time around. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you are first-time visitors here to Holland Speedway, and a couple of features that we're kind of proud of here at the Speedway, many of which we're proud of, but one I want to point out to you. There's a white line across the track up to your left in turn number 4. That is the acceleration line for the original start of any race. When the front row of cars hits that white stripe up there in turn 4, they start to accelerate, and the rest of the field then picks up the pace behind them. On restarts only after a caution, that white stripe is the starting line. And when the green flag is waved at the field at that stripe in turn 4, the entire track goes green at that time. So once the front row hits that stripe on a restart, the whole field can start passing. We'll point that out to you a little bit later on during the restart, but right now you see him come off that acceleration line. Dale Easterly takes a look, and the green flag comes out, and no start. He kept the green flag rolled up. I thought that was the situation, and the caution flag greets them on the back straightaway. The caution lights are on in the corner. Car's out of position, and looks like somebody may be afforded the opportunity to start in the back. No, they're just getting a little warning that they may start in the back. We're hearing on the safety loop here that Lamonte hit the accelerator before he got to that white line. Now, everybody here in the crowd understands the white line up in the turn, but of course these guys in the race cars can't hear me out there. Lucky them. So therefore, he wasn't thinking about that acceleration line. So looks like maybe he'll have the opportunity to watch others accelerate at the line, and then he can follow them. Phil Lamonte, your pole car, car number 1, setting that pace along with the 0-2 of Kevin Galligan, Jimmy Scora in 6, Bob Slippy in 10, Al Conti in the 00, Mike Wiedemann in 53, and Tony Calverley in 22. There they are at the acceleration line. The field starts to move out as they head off that 4th turn. The green flag's waved, and the first Charger heat is underway. Into the number 1 and 2 turn. Phil Lamonte takes an early lead. Car number 1, Scora moves into 2nd. Car number 6, the 0-2 of Galligan up on the outside. Connie down low. Slippy running in the 5th position as they move off that 4th turn onto the main straightaway with car number 1, Phil Lamont, still the leader. Lamont up in front. Lamont going to the outside. Scora takes the inside route as they run side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Scora down low. Lamonte way up high, way above the yellow line, and way up into the wall as he comes off turn number 4. And the right front wheel is locked right up on car number 1. The wheel isn't even turning on the right front corner of car number 1. Scora now with a good lead, so the battle now will watch us for 2nd spot between Bob Slippy in car number 10 and Mike Wiedemann in car number 53. Slippy in the 2nd spot with the number 10, the 53 of Wiedemann moving up on him. The 0-2 cars drop back to the 4th spot. Then they're side by side for 5th between Al Conti in the 00 and Tony Calverley in car number 22. Scora with a good lead over the rest of the pack as they pass the stands and head into turn number 1 and 2. Scora the leader, Slippy is 2nd, Wiedemann runs 3rd as they head down the back straightaway and into turn number 3 and 4. The halfway signal shown to the field, 5 laps completed and 5 to go in this 10-lap heat for the Charger division. Charger qualifying heat. Heat number 1 for Charger division. Front 3 are the 6 of Jimmy Scora, the 10 of Bob Slippy, and the 53 of Mike Wiedemann. 5 laps in and 5 to go. Positions unchanged as they head down the main straightaway, other than the number 22 of Tony Calverley had some handling problems up there on the inside of turn 4, where he makes a good recovery and continues on the racing surface. Once again, out of that 4th turn, your lead car, number 6, Jimmy Scora. Scora is the leader, but as you can see, Bob Slippy is starting to reel him in with car number 10. Scora is the leader, but Slippy has narrowed the gap with the number 10 car as they head into turn number 3 and 4. As they come off that 4th turn, only 3 car lengths between car number 6 of Jimmy Scora, your leader, and the number 10 of Bob Slippy, and the signal is shown to the field. 2 laps to go. 2 more times around. Jimmy Scora in the lead. Bob Slippy back in the 2nd spot. Slippy dropped back a little bit. He moved up to about a 3-car length disadvantage and then dropped back to about a 10-car gap as they take the white flag with 1 more time around. 1 lap to go as Jimmy Scora makes it look easy heading out of the 2nd turn. Could be a problem on the Slippy machine because Wiedemann's going to try to take him through turn number 3 and 4. Out of that 4th turn and down the main straightaway, Jimmy Scora wins it, car number 6. Bob Slippy finishes second with number 10. The third man home, Mike Wiedemann, car number 53. And the fourth car across the line, Kevin Galligan, car number 02. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we tell you week in and week out here at Holland International Speedway, these guys run for points, they run for money, they run for glory, and they run because they love the thrill of automobile racing. But the thing that gets the adrenaline pumping and really makes the thrill for the drivers is the roar of the crowd. And what do you say we started off with a nice round of applause for our Charger first heat winner, Jim Scora. Second qualifying heat, Charger division of cars now pulling out of the lineup chute onto the Speedway. On the pole, car number 7, Jimmy Clark from West Seneca. On the outside of the front row, it's car number 3, Danny Grigsby from Springfield. Two back on the inside, Carl Nagel, car number 17. On the outside is car number 65 of John Spores. Third row on the inside, it's car number 31 of Billy Smith, the old farm boy from Orchard Park, New York. On the outside, car number 28, Chuck Egan. Next row on the inside, it'll be car number 27, Chuck Mock Jr. from Angola, driving that 80 Buick. And on the outside, it's car number 29, Tim Kropovich from West Seneca, the driver of the West Hereford. Second qualifying heat, Charger division of cars, once again 10 laps the distance. Jimmy Clark and Dan Grigsby up in the front row, cars number 7 and 3 respectively. Then it's the number 17 of Carl Nagel. Johnny Spores, car number 65. Bill Smith in 31. Chuck Egan in 28. The 27 car of Chuck Mock Jr. and car number 29 of Tim Kropovich. Off that fourth turn, and the green flags once again don't wave. No start. Caution comes out on the second heat for the Chargers. Having a problem getting these Charger qualifying heats properly started. Once again, a reminder of our 50-50 fan club drawing for the Four Score Fan Club. It's a 50-50 drawing, and about 10 minutes ago it was well over $300 for the winner's share. It's divided 50-50. Half of it goes into the pot for the lucky ticket holder, and the other half goes into the point fund, which is well in excess of $4,400, almost $5,000 by now, going into the Holland Speedway point fund, and we're still early in the month of June. So make sure you get your 50-50 raffle ticket. I remember a good friend of mine won this up here last year, and he took home about $1,200 on that 50-50 raffle. As the field pulls into formation on the back straightaway, it's Danny Grigsby up on the outside in car number 3, the 7 of Jimmy Clark on the inside, Carl Nagel, car number 17, Johnny Spores in 65, Billy Smith in 31, 28, Chuck Egan, 27, Chuck Mock, 29, Tim Kropovich. The green flag comes out, and the second Charger heat is underway. Side by side into turn number 1 and 2. Jimmy Clark up in front, Grigsby on the outside, Nagel alongside of Grigsby as they run side by side for position number 2 into turn 3. Jimmy Clark running that middle groove out of that fourth turn onto the main straightaway. Nagel looks for room on the inside. Grigsby up on the outside as once again they're side by side into turn 1. Now Clark opens up a little gap as the second place cars battle for that position. Johnny Spores moves up to join him in car number 65, and Chuck Egan is starting to move up in the pack in 28 as they head down the main straightaway. The battle for second spot still continues while Jimmy Clark watches it in his rearview mirror from the first position. Clark the leader, side by side for second. Nagel on the inside, Grigsby on the outside, and Spores up to challenge in 65 as they come out of that fourth turn and down the main straightaway. Now Nagel takes the second spot with number 17. That kicks Grigsby back to the third spot where he's now being challenged by Johnny Spores, car number 65. Keep an eye on Tim Kropovich in 29. Kropovich up on the outside of the speedway trying to clear traffic and move up on the leader as they head down the main straightaway with 4 laps complete. Through turns number 1 and 2, Jimmy Clark continues to hold that lead. Carl Nagel starts to draw up closer on him as he's now cleared that second place battle with Grigsby and sets his sight on the leader as they come out of that number 4 turn at the halfway signal. 5 laps completed, 5 laps to go. Jimmy Clark in front, Carl Nagel second. the battle for third between Danny Grigsby in car number 3 and Tim Kropovich in 29, and Kropovich bangs on the back bumper of Grigsby and then goes way up high through turn number 4. Big piece of pipe hanging off the right front corner of Dan Grigsby's car number 3. Single file among the top 4 cars as they head down the back chute into turn number 3 and 4 as Chuck Egan goes to the inside of the track in car number 28. Grigsby pulling off with that problem on car number 3. Grigsby down in the infield out of the way, being motioned to stay there, and that moves the 65 of John Spores up in the 3rd spot, and they're racing side by side for 4th, and we got to get the caution flag out because car number 3 is stopped right on the inside of the speedway and is unable to get restarted. So the caution flag is shown to the field, and their indications are there may be a fire under the hood of car number 3, so they're bringing the Speedway fire truck over there. There's a lot of steam there, and he was pointing under the hood, motion to the fire crew there for them to come over, and they're getting the hood pins pulled on it, and they're going to take a look. Well, as they say in the insurance business, no flame, no claim, and I don't see any flame under the hood of that car, so it looks like they haven't got to pop the dry powder extinguisher, and Jimmy Clark climbs back in the car and gets ready to get pushed into a little safer spot down on the inside of the main straightaway. Scoreboard reset now at lap number 8. Lap number 8 being shown on the scoreboard. Last 2 laps are going to be under green. And we understand Kenny Hangour down in the infield has a story.
Well, checking with track officials, they looked under the hood of the Dan Grigsby car number 3. There was a small fire, perhaps just burning off a little bit of oil on the car number 3 of Grigsby. The fire started up and extinguished itself. Back up to the race control.
Thank you, Ken. As a signal from the flag stand tells the cars to double up for the restart, and they're going to get the green flag the next time around. Well, this should make things a little interesting for Jimmy Clark, car number 7. Clark out for a Saturday evening cruise with that automobile as he watched Nagel in the mirror, but now he can look out the right side passenger window and see the number 17 of Carl Nagel right alongside of him. Johnny Spores is right behind him in 65, and Chuck Egan has now moved the 28 car up into the 4th spot up on the outside of row number 2 on this restart. Then it's Billy Smith, car number 31, Tim Kropovich in 29, and Chuck Mock in 27, in that order as they prepare for the restart. Now you'll see the restart line in operation as the cars move into turn number 3 and 4. They'll get the green flag when they hit the stripe up there in turn number 4, and it'll be a drag race into the first turn between Jimmy Clark in car number 7 and Carl Nagel in 17. They hit the stripe, the green flag waves, and we're back for the final 2 laps of Charger heat number 2. Jimmy Clark up in front, Carl Nagel alongside him as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Nagel now drops down to single file it down the back straightaway, back in the 2nd spot, but Chuck Egan has moved from 4th into 3rd and is up to challenge for 2nd. Egan drops to the inside on the white flag lap with 1 lap to go, one more time around. 1 lap to go. Jimmy Clark up in front. The battle is for 2nd between Carl Nagel in 17, Chuck Egan in 28 as they head for turn number 3 and 4. They work their way off the banking, turn number 4, onto the main straightaway, home for the checkered flag, number 7, Jimmy Clark, 28, Chuck Egan gets 2nd. Chuck Egan comes home in 2nd spot, car number 28, a good run for Egan off the turn, and he took the runner-up position with car number 28. Carl Nagel finished 3rd with 17, and Billy Smith was your 4th car home, car number 31. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a young man who made it look pretty easy out there as he got out in front early, held the lead among a good field of drivers behind him. How about a nice round of applause as the number 7 pulls into victory lane, the driver, Jimmy Clark. Third qualifying heat, Winston Racing Series Charger Division, now reporting on the Speedway. Car number 47 is Art Eisensmith. Car number 49 is Jeff Ripstein. Car number 32, the purple machine, that's Mark Kazmarek. Number 03 now pulling into formation. That's Vern Bliss. Car number 18 is Rich Pocabello. The 01 of Joe Barber. Car number 57 of Gary Giglio. Next car to appear is car number 99, Flying Brian Hoffman, and the number 41 of Kenny Froh. So there's your starting lineup for the third qualifying heat for the NASCAR Chargers. Art Eisensmith, the pole car, car number 47. The number 32 of Mark Kazmarek starts in the second spot on the outside of row number 1. Then it's the 49 of Jeff Ripstein, the 03 of Vern Bliss as they hit the starting line. The green flags wave, and the third Charger heat is underway, and Ripstein drops to the inside with the Village Pub number 49, shifting problems on that car. Down the back straightaway, Eisensmith takes an early lead. Kazmarek is second, but watch Pocabello, car number 18. Rich Pocabello now moving up to third. Car number 18 down on the inside of the Speedway. Vern Bliss is charging through traffic in car number 03. Kazmarek takes a look at the inside, trying to take the lead, and while he's doing that, look at Vern Bliss high on the outside, car number 03. 3 abreast into turn number 3 and 4 with a fender's bang out of that fourth turn. They're side by side across the stripe between Rich Pocabello and Mark Kazmarek. Pocabello down low, Kazmarek up high. They're side by side as they head down the back straightaway. Pocabello takes the lead, Kazmarek still second. Bliss runs third. Brian Hoffman has now moved into the fourth spot. Brian Hoffman moving into fourth. Can't get around Bliss on the inside. Goes up on the outside as they head for turn number 1 and 2. Now back to the inside with a gold and black number 03 of Bliss. Pocabello up in front. Kazmarek is second in the purple 32. Here comes Vern Bliss on the inside. Car number 03 as they head down the main straightaway. They're side by side and nose to tail for the runner-up position. Now into turn number 1 and 2. Rich Pocabello up in front. Mark Kazmarek second. Vern Bliss third. Brian Hoffman up on the outside. And car number 99 as they head down the main straightaway. Joe Barber now goes to the inside, trying to move up a spot as they head into turn number 1 and 2. A good battle back there from second on back as they all bunch together down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Out of that fourth turn, onto the main straightaway. Pocabello up in front. Bliss has moved into second. Kazmarek back to third. Hoffman runs fourth as they head for turn number 1 and 2. Action is still heavy. Back in the pack from third place on back as Brian Hoffman goes to the inside in car number 99 to pass Mark Kazmarek in car number 32 and move into third. Kazmarek is fourth. Joe Barber now back in the sixth spot and challenging to move up on the inside of the Speedway. Rich Pocabello is the leader. Vern Bliss is second. Flying Brian Hoffman is third. The battle for fourth between Mark Kazmarek in 32, Joe Barber in 01, Kenny Froh in 41. As they're all in a fast-moving group into turn number 1 and 2. Now Hoffman takes the 99 to the inside, trying to get that spot away from Bliss in car number 03. The white flag comes out on the front of the field as they head down the main straightaway. Rich Pocabello up in front. Vern Bliss is second. The 99 up flying. Brian Hoffman runs third. Here comes Hoffman down on the inside as they move out of that second turn down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. The lead pack out of that fourth turn. They head for the line. The winner, Rich Pocabello. Vern Bliss second. Flying Brian Hoffman is third. And the 41 of Kenny Froh coming home in the fourth position. He started in the back and he finished in the front. Let's welcome this gentleman to victory lane, the driver of car number 18, Rich Pocabello.
Heat race number 1 for the 6-cylinder modifieds. Taking to the track, the first car out is the number 19. The driver is Dave Reese out of Holland. And the Hat and Hair Pub sponsored ride on his outside in the Slippy's Collision, AW Dye Insurance, Draper Trucking, Lair's Auto Stop, sponsored number 43. That's Larry Havens of Chafee. Row number 2 on the inside in the Cindy's Embroidery sponsored number 2. It's Dave Bailey from Newfane. And pulling into position up in the front row now in car number 76. It's Rick Jones out of Arcade in the 76. Let's move back to row number 3. Piloting car number 26. It's the JRS Smoke Shop ride of Art Jimerson. On his outside in the McLean Enterprises, number 44 from Hamilton, Ontario, Harry Nicholson. The last car on the starting grid is car number 66. That's Leighton Graham from Angelica. 7 cars set to go in the first of 2 qualifying heats for the 6-cylinder limited modifieds. Rick Jones in the 76, Larry Havens in the 43 forming row 1, Dave Bailey in the 2, Dave Reese in the 19 in row 2, Art Jemerson in car 26, Harry Nicholson in the 44 in row 3, and Leighton Graham in the 66 riding shotgun on the 7-car field. Field picking up the pace, accelerating through turn number 4. The green flags are out and we are racing. On the break, it's Larry Havens jumping out into the early lead. Larry, a feature winner in this division last week, had some rotten luck the last couple of weeks, so his handicapping is still to the point where he gets a front row starting spot in this qualifying heat. Larry Havens in car number 43 taking advantage of this front row starting spot and moves into a large lead advantage in the early going in this first qualifying heat for the 6-cylinder modifieds. Havens out in front of car number 43, a battle shaping up for the number 2 spot between the number 76 of Rick Jones and the 2 of Dave Bailey. Jones leads Bailey by about a car length and a half down the back chute. Bailey moving to the inside to challenge Jones for the number 2 position. Not too far behind in the 44 is the 4th place car of Harry Nicholson. Jones and Bailey continue to do battle for the number 2 spot. Jones holding on to a steady 2-car length advantage over the 2 of Dave Bailey, with Harry Nicholson lying in wait in car 44. Meanwhile, up in front, Larry Havens in the 43 just rolling away with this one. Havens with a full straightaway advantage over the number 76 of 2nd place Rick Jones. The cross flags being shown to the field now. We're at the halfway point. 5 laps down, 5 laps remaining in the first qualifying heat for the 6-cylinder modifieds. Havens will now have to be dealing with some lap traffic in the next lap or 2 in this qualifying heat. And Harry Nicholson pulling out of action in the 44. Nicholson had been running in the number 4 spot, but Nicholson coasting into the infield out of power. Larry Havens puts a lap on the Dave Reese number 19. Will soon be moving up on the 26 of Art Jemerson and the 66 of Leighton Graham. Havens pulling to the outside of the Jemerson 26 and will now move by the Leighton Graham number 66 as he takes the parallel flag, which means 2 laps remain in this qualifying heat. The race for second continues to be tight. Rick Jones in the 76 and Dave Bailey in the 2, still doing battle for the runner-up position. The white flag being shown for Larry Havens in car number 43. One more time around for Mr. Havens. Jones in the 76 and Bailey in the 2 pass by the start-finish line to receive the white flag from starter Dale Easterly. It's going to be Larry Havens cruising in for the victory in car number 43. The race for second, Jones leads Bailey out of turn number 4, and it's going to be Jones finishing second. Bailey takes third in car number 2. Larry Havens picking up the victory here in car number 43 in qualifying heat number 1 for the 6-cylinder modified division. The 6-cylinder modified field for heat race number 2 now taking to the track. The way they'll be starting in this qualifying heat up in front is the number 21, the Java Collision sponsored ride of Larry Dominici of Varysburg. On his outside, in the Gowanda Glass number 63, it's Jeff Johnson. Row 2 on the inside, and the Daly's used cars number 8, it's B.K. Daly from Forestville. On his outside, in car number 3, Don Wiley from Buffalo. Row 3 on the inside, the Holland Oil number 01 of John Barber from Bliss. On the outside of that row, in the O&L Equipment sponsor number 6, it's Danny O'Brien from Barilla. 6 cars set to go 10 laps in qualifying heat number 2 for the 6-cylinder modifieds. Picking up the pace out of turn number 4. Dominici and Johnson leading down. The green flags are out, and we are racing. And And on the break, Jeff Johnson moves into the early lead. He bobbles just a bit through turns 3 and 4 and creates a hole for Don Wiley to shoot right through in car number 3. Larry Dominici leads. Don Wiley working in second place. Kay Daly up in third in car number 8. Wiley making a move to the outside of Dominici as they race into turn number 3. Don Wiley swings out of turn 4 in command. Your race leader, Donnie Wiley in car 3. Larry Dominici working in second in the 21. Kay Daly is third in car number 8. Danny O'Brien working in fourth in car 6. John Barber is fifth in the 0-1. Your 6-car field swings out of turn number 4 to complete lap 3 with Don Wiley continuing to show the way. He's opened up about a 4-car length lead advantage over the 21 of Larry Dominici. Kay Daly working in third in car number 8. Daly looking to challenge Dominici for the number 2 spot, and right behind, here comes the duo of Danny O'Brien in the 6 and John Barber in the 0-1. O'Brien pulls to the outside of Kay Daly, and John Barber slows suddenly in car 0-1. John Barber having a bit of trouble in the 0-1 here at the midway point of the 6-cylinder modified qualifying heat. But it looks like he's bringing his car back up to speed once again. Up in front, it's still Don Wiley showing the way, but the battle is for second place. Larry Dominici continues to hold the runner-up spot. Kay Daly in the 8, and Danny O'Brien in the 6, putting on the pressure. Wiley swinging out of turn number 4 as he clicks off lap number 7 this time by. 7 down, 3 to go for race leader Don Wiley in car 3. Dan O'Brien in car 6 looking to sneak a wheel to the inside of the Kay Daly number 8, that time out of turn 2. But Daly was up to the challenge as the parallel flags being shown to the field. 2 laps remain. John Barber in the 0-1 drove right around Danny O'Brien and grabbed the number 4 spot. Now he's going to work on Kay Daly in car 8 for the number 3 position. Your leader, Don Wiley, under the white flag. 1 more to go for your field of 6-cylinder modifieds here in heat race number 2. Wiley continues to lead. Dominici working in second. John Barber is now putting the pass on Kay Daly for the number 3 spot. Here comes Wiley for the win in car number 3. Dominici is second. Barber third. Daly is fourth. O'Brien is fifth, followed by the Jeff Johnson number 63. Grabbing the lead on lap number 2 and letting all the action take place behind him from that point on. The winner of qualifying heat number 2 for the 6-cylinder modified division in car number 3, the Barco Manufacturing ride. The driver is Don Wiley.
We now move into the late model Pro Stock division here at Holland International Speedway as the cars take to the track for their 12-lap qualifying events. On the pole, car number 5, Dale Buck. On the outside, it'll be number 9, Sonny Whitmire. Second row on the inside, it'll be the 98 car of Larry Ovitt. Next car pulling in a position on the outside is the feature winner here last Saturday night, Dave Catalano, car number 64. Third row on the inside, it'll be car number 65 of George Scora. On the outside, it's car number 17, and we've had a change of drivers in that. It's usually Tom Price. And now that Price was injured in a non-racing accident, Mike Vargo takes over the controls of car number 17. So our old friend from the Charger division, Mike Vargo, is now the driver on car number 17. Number 7 is Art Clark pulling into his starting position. And on the outside of Clark's car is the number 45 of Chuck Hebing. That is your starting lineup for the first of the late model qualifying events. As the field moves out of the 4th turn, the Ron Corbo Oldsmobile pace car brings them past the flag stand as the white flag waves indicating 1 lap to the start. 1 lap to the start of qualifying heat number 1 in the late models. A tight pack formation as they move out of that number 2 turn behind the pace car. Onto the back straightaway. Dale Buck and Sonny Whitmire set the pace, followed by Larry Avin in 98 and the 64 of Dave Catalano. Out of turn 4, onto the main straightaway. The green flags wave, and late model heat number 1 is underway. As they head into turn number 1 and 2, Dale Buck out to an early lead. Car number 5, Sonny Whitmire, runs second. Here comes Dave Catalano around the outside to run third. Catalano looking for room to poke his nose down on the inside of turn number 4 as they head down the main straightaway. Single file through the first 4 cars, and they double up for the 4th position as they head off the second turn and down the back straightaway. Whitmire moves in to challenge the number 5 of Dale Buck. Here comes Whitmire down on the inside. Buck runs that middle groove as they come out of turn 4 and head past the stands. Art Clark is starting his charge through the pack with car number 7 as Whitmire makes another stab at the lead as they move down the back straightaway. Dave Catalano back in 3rd place, car number 64. Art Clark is now taken over 4th as he goes by Mike Bargo on the inside. Bargo, the driver of the number 17. Clark with the Bimini blue car number 7. Sonny Whitmire up in front, goes to the inside, again making a challenge on Dale Buck in car number 5. Buck running the middle of the racetrack and shuts the door as they come off that 4th turn, and Whitmire looks for room to pass him on the inside as they come off that 2nd turn onto the back straightaway. Whitmire tries it up high to go by Buck this time. Buck running that high groove down the back straightaway, cutting it low through the corners, and now Art Clark says the only way to get up front is to go to the outside of the speedway. So Richard Petty style, here goes Art Clark up to the outside. Clark up on the outside, gets around Dave Catalano, car number 64. About the time Clark finds out that that's the fast way around, Sonny Whitmire figures out maybe he'll try that also. So Clark gets blocked in behind Whitmire as Whitmire is side by side with your leader, Dale Buck. Now they work the crisscross. Whitmire drops down low trying to get by Dale Buck. Art Clark trying to thread the needle, and here comes Dave Catalano down on the inside of Clark as they come out of that 4th turn. They're down the main straightaway with Dale Buck continuing to lead. Car number 5. Here comes Whitmire down on the inside, but again Buck closes the door as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. This time Whitmire goes to the outside of Dale Buck's car number 5, and when he moves up, here comes Art Clark down on the inside with car number 7. Clark on the inside, Whitmire on the outside. They're almost 3 abreast down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Clark down below the yellow line with car number 7 as they come off that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. Into turn number 1 and 2. Dale Buck up in front. Art Clark has gone to the inside and is now past Sonny Whitmire. Now he's going to go to work on Dale Buck up in that lead spot as they head through 3 and 4. The Whitmire car gets a little sideways out of the 4th turn as Clark gets alongside of the leader Whitmire as they take 2 laps to go. Out of that 2nd turn, onto the back straightaway, and Art Clark has taken the lead with car number 7. Clark the new leader. Dale Buck back in the 2nd spot. Car number 5. Sonny Whitmire recovers from that wild slide to run 3rd in car number 9. Dave Catalano 4th, car number 64. The lead pack moving out of that 2nd turn onto the back straightaway. Art Clark still in command. The Dale Buck number 5 is 2nd. Sonny Whitmire is 3rd as the checkered flags come out for Art Clark. Clark the winner. Buck is 2nd. Whitmire 3rd, and Dave Catalano the 4th car home, car number 64. You're right, Rick Mooney. Rick Mooney just said there was a real workshop in how to pass race cars. Art Clark in the first heat tonight, he's had some bad luck here at the Speedway. Finished way back in the feature last week after only qualifying out of the Consi. Now back to his winning ways at Holland Speedway as he picks up a checkered flag. Let's hear it for number 7, Art Clark. Some of the first-time visitors here at Holland may be interested in knowing that our procedure is the first 7 out of each qualifying heat automatically make the feature, and then the other 3 cars come in from the consolation or B main. However, out of that 7 cars, the first 5 start an inverted start in the first 15. Then the 6th and 7th place cars fall in behind them out of each of the 3 qualifying heats. Then the Consi cars follow them. So it's real important, first of all, to be up front in the heat. Secondly, to make the top 5. That way you get to start in the top 15 in the feature. If you finish 6th or 7th, you start behind the guys that finished in the top 5, and then the consolation cars make up the balance of the 24-car field. So again, it's very important to be in the top 5 in these qualifying events. Starting lineup as we prepare for late model Pro Stock heat number 2. On the pole, car number 15, Joe Engelfinger. On the outside, it's car number 54 of Buck Catalano. Second row on the inside, a two-time late model feature winner here at Holland Speedway, number 28, Eldon King. On the outside, it's car number 56. The driver is Mike Tico. Following Tico in line is car number 69, and that is Wayne White from Buffalo. On the outside of him, it's Dave Heitzhaus, car number 91. The 48 of current points leader Rick Wiley, and following him is car number 89 of Ashen Yelkin, driving a 91 Chevrolet sponsored by Safety Clean. White flag shown to the field, should be green the next time by. Joe Engelfinger in 15, Buck Catalano in 54, Eldon King in 28, Mike Tico in 56. 69, Wayne White, 91, Dave Heitzhaus, 48, Rick Wiley, 89, Ashen Yelkin. Starting lineup, heat number 2, late model Pro Stock Division. The Corbeau Oldsmobile pace car picks up speed heading into turn number 3 and 4, bringing the field out of that fourth turn. They accelerate at the acceleration line. They head for the starting line. The green flags are out, and heat number 2 is underway. And Buck Catalano grabs the lead on the outside with car 54. Joe Engelfinger on the inside in 50. Pilot back straightaway. And Wayne White's car number 16 take a wicked ride into the rail on the back straightaway. And the red flag is out. Not only a caution flag, they brought out red on this one after a serious crash on the back straightaway. The 69 of Wayne White with a wicked wide open ride into the back straightaway wall over there, and pieces and parts of that car all over the backstretch. No caution flag on that one, folks. The red came out, and we'll be checking with the emergency crews over there right now on the condition of Wayne White after he got tangled up with the 89 of Ashen Yelkin and crashed heavily into the barrier on the back straightaway, bringing out a red flag. They're back in the tow truck in there right away as the emergency crews are over there checking on Wayne White with car number 69. Well, looks like a complete restart on this event as it was red flagged rather than thrown under the caution. So we'll go to a complete restart the next time around. And, of course, 0 laps are completed, indicating a complete restart on this event. Joe Engelfinger will remain in the pole slot. Car number 15, Buck Catalano on the outside in 54. Eldon King in 28. Mike Tico in 56. Dave Heitzhaus in 91. Rick Wiley in 48. Ashen Yelkin in 89, and all the cars are able to return with the exception of Wayne White, number 69. The field comes flying out of that fourth turn to take the green flag and head for turn number 1 and 2. And once again, Buck Catalano takes an early lead from his outside pole starting spot with car number 54. Tico up on the outside trying to pass Engelfinger for second as they head through turn number 3 and 4. They're down the main straightaway. Catalano in the lead. Side by side for second between the 15 of Joe Engelfinger, the 56 of Tico, now drops back in line momentarily, then again pulls alongside of Engelfinger as they're side by side into turn number 3 and 4. Eldon King takes car number 28, eventually constructing the machine down to the inside as they head into turn number 1 and 2. King going down on the inside of the track to try to take third away from Mike Tico as they head down the back chute and set up for turn number 3 and 4. And King gets sideways, car number 28, and that kicks him all the way back almost to the back of the pack as they head out of that number 2 turn. Onto the back straightaway, Catalano in front, car 54. Engelfinger is second in 15. Tico challenging from the third spot, car number 56. The 48 of Rick Wiley now runs fourth as they head down the main straightaway. Tico takes car number 56 to the outside as they head for turn number 1 and 2. Tico doing everything he can to get by Joe Engelfinger in car number 15. Engelfinger on the inside, and now Rick Wiley moves in to challenge Mike Tico as they head down the main straightaway. While Wiley starts to move up with car number 48, another car that's charged through traffic and is on the move is car number 91 of Dave Heitzhaus. And again, we told you how important it is to finish in the top 5 in these qualifying heat races. The cross flags come out on the front of the field. 6 laps completed and 6 laps to go. The leader is Buck Catalano, car 54. Catalano in the lead, Engelfinger second, Tico is third, Wiley is fourth, Heitzhaus fifth as they head through turn 4. Out of that fourth turn and down the main straightaway. The lead car still Buck Catalano, car 54, with the battle is for second. Joe Engelfinger, car number 15. Mike Tico in 56, the 48 of Rick Wiley, and the 91 of Dave Heitzhaus, all in a close-knit pack, all battling for second as they head past the stands and set up for turn number 1 and 2. Catalano with a pretty good lead, car 54, but the race for second still continues as again Tico pulls alongside, but Tico won't stay up high. He goes high going into 3 and 4 and then tucks it right down in again behind Engelfinger, not wanting to run high through those turns. So all of the cars staying relatively low as they come through the turns. And again, Tico goes to the outside and almost gets completely alongside of the 15 of Engelfinger, but can't get by him. And he's got 2 more laps to sort it out for second spot as they take that indicator from the starter heading for turn number 1 and 2. Buck Catalano still up in front. Joe Engelfinger second. Mike Tico is third. Dave Heitzhaus is pulled alongside of Ricky Wiley for that 4th spot as the white flag comes out on the leaders with 1 lap to go. One more time around, and again it's important to finish in the top 5 in this qualifying heat. And Heitzhaus is trying to hold off Eldon King and trying to pass Rick Wiley for that spot because it's a 3-car race for that bubble position to make the feature. It's Catalano, it's Engelfinger, it's Tico, and it is the number 48 of Wiley, and we'll let scoring settle it out between 5th and 6th because it was really close between the 28 of Eldon King and the 91 of Dave Heitzhaus. Well, kind of a family affair here at Holland International Speedway. Holland is proud to present itself as a family track with special deals for the children, a family atmosphere for everybody. And now Dave Catalano won our feature race here last Saturday night in the late model division. Now his brother Buck has just won a qualifying heat. So it's checkered flag time for the Catalano family. How about a nice welcome to victory lane for Buck Catalano. Now presenting the 3rd qualifying heat. Once again for the NASCAR late model Pro Stocks, here's the starting lineup. On the pole, car number 99, Rodney Arndt. On the outside, it's number 11 of Bobby Martin. Second row on the inside, car number 61, Jeff Evans. On the outside, number 25, Manley Vosberg. Third row on the inside, 04, Danny Mason. On the outside, number 3, Darrell Bobson. Next row on the inside, car number 86, Gary Schwab. On the outside, it's car number 78, John Hine. And at the back of the pack, it's car number 10, the beautiful gold car number 10, driven by Mike Feeblecorn. The Ron Gare Excavating Ranger Transportation Special. Looks like they're having problems tonight on car number 10 of Mike Feeblecorn. Hood removed from that car. They were working on it right up to the last minute. They called it the lineup shoot. The white flag is out, indicating we should take a green for the start next time around. Cars moving up into formation as they take that white flag, indicating we should have a start the next time by. Up in front, it's car number 99, Rodney Arndt, on the inside of the front row. Bobby Martin on the outside at 11, car number 61 of Jeff Evans, second on the inside. On the outside, Manley Vosberg in 25, Danny Mason in 04, Darrell Bobson in 3, Gary Schwab in 86, John Hine in 78, and Mike Feeblecorn, car number 10. They hit the acceleration point in turn number 4. They head for the starting line. The green flag is out. Qualifying heat number 3 is underway. Smoke coming out of the back of Manley Vosberg's car number 25 as he took it into turn number 1 and 2 as Rodney Arndt leads the pack down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Arndt is the leader. Car number 99, Martin second in 11, Jeff Evans 23rd in 61. And once again, we see smoke on the Vosberg 25 as he goes through turn number 1 and 2. And Vosberg is now being challenged by Darrell Bobson with car number 3. Right behind Bobson comes the 04 of Danny Mason, and moving to the inside to challenge Mason is Gary Schwab with car number 86. The lead pack out of that second turn and down the back straightaway. Rodney Arndt in command. Rodney Arndt is the leader with Bobby Martin second. The battle now for third between Jeff Evans with 61, Manley Vosberg in 25, Darrell Bobson in 3, Danny Mason in car number 04. The best action on the racetrack is back there for that third position between Jeff Evans in 61 and the 25 of Vosberg, the 3 of Bobson, and the 04 of Mason, as they have a 4-car battle set up for that third position. Rodney Arndt motoring out to a good lead with car number 99. Bobby Martin holding that second spot with 11, but the battle continues for that third spot between Jeff Evans in 61 and Vosberg in 25. Bobson in 3, and here comes Danny Mason on the outside with 04, trying to take that spot away from Daryl Bobson's car number 3 as they head down the back chute and set up for turn number 3 and 4. Once again, the bubble position being contested to see who gets the start in the front 5 in the late model feature race later on this evening. As they head out of that second turn, Manley Vosberg has moved into that third spot with number 25. That moves Jeff Evans back to 4th. The battle now for 5th is side by side between number 3 of Daryl Bobson and the 04 of Mason. All of a sudden, Mason gets a hole, gets through on the inside and gets by Bobson, and now tries to get by Jeff Evans, and Gary Schwab starts to move in car number 86. Your lead car, the 99 of Rodney Arndt, making it look easy as he heads for turn number 1 and 2. But keep your eye on that battle now for that 4th position to transfer spots into the feature event. Jeff Evans in 61, Danny Mason in 04, Gary Schwab in 86. Mason and Evans side by side through turn number 3 and 4, and now down the main straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Mason on the inside, Evans on the outside. Here comes Schwab and here comes Bobson. Mason gets underneath the 61 of Evans, while Evans is pushed up to the top side. Gary Schwab gets by, and he gets spun out down at turn number 4. And they give the chrome horn to that one, and that gives the black flag to the 61 of Jeff Evans. Here is your lead car out of the 4th turn onto the main straightaway as the double flags come out with 2 laps to go. 2 more times around. 2 to go on the front of the pack. Now they've got the white flag out on the front of the field. Here is your lead car out of that 4th turn, and the checkered flags come out for number 99, Rodney Arndt. Arndt is the winner. Bobby Martin is 2nd. Manley Vosberg is 3rd. Danny Mason is 4th, and Daryl Bobson gets 5th in car number 3.
The field of cars for the first Busch Grand National North qualifying heat taking to the Speedway, assembling behind the Ron Corbo Olds Holland Speedway pace car. The first car out. And the Lamell Lumber Corporation McIntyre Fuels Buick number 98. It's Ron Lamell out of Essex Junction, Vermont. He'll be joined in the front row by car number 12, the Casco Bay Yacht Exchange Buick, Dave Davis out of South Portland, Maine. Row number 2 on the inside. And the Dick Traynor Trucking Pontiac number 36, Bobby Gaeta out of Niantic, Connecticut, on his outside. And the ADAP Auto Palace number 72 from Fitchburg, Massachusetts, it's Kenny Bouchard. Row 3 on the inside. Car number 09, the EJP Pontiac of Dale Shaw of Center Conway, New Hampshire. On the outside of that row in the Fadden Automotive, Patton's Gas Buick number 16, Stub Fadden out of North Haverhill, New Hampshire. Back a row to car number 75, the RSD Leasing Incorporated Buick of Pete Daniels from Lebanon, New Hampshire. On his outside in the Previty's Auto Wrecking, Perry's Ice Cream Crab Oil number 89, it's Gary Schwab out of Delavan. Back a row to the Clark Concrete SKF Bearings Oldsmobile, the number 1, Tony Hirschman out of Northampton, Pennsylvania. On his outside in car 39, the Gillies Truck Caps Pontiac, Lloyd Gilly out of East Holden, Maine. And the last car on the starting grid, the Motion Racing Buick number 5 from Colchester, Vermont, Barney McRae. 10 laps will be the distance in this qualifying heat for the Busch North Touring Late Models. Starter Dale Easterly holding the white flag aloft. He's going to indicate that we'll be going green in 1 more lap. Ronnie Lamell had 7th fastest time, just out of the top 6 that automatically qualified for the feature, but it does give him the pole position for this first qualifying heat. Corvo Olds pace car will be moving off the track. Lamell in the 98, Davis in the 12, lead him out of turn number 4. Here they come, and Dale Easterly says he doesn't like the way they came out of turn number 4. He waves off the green flag, the yellow comes off. We're going to have to regroup them and restart this one. The field on the binders as they came out of turn 3 and 4 rather ragged, and starter Dale Easterly says, if you're going to not do it my way, we're not going to do it until you do it right. So he slows them down and will gather them back up, and we're going to give him one more chance at starting this one.
Rick, I just talked to Bob Holland here in the booth, and he told me a minor correction on the 12 of Dave Davis. He comes from Freeport, Maine, the home of L.L. Bean. Most all of us get that catalog in the mail, so it's Freeport, Maine, the home of Dave Davis, car number 12.
One more time, Dale Easterly holds that white flag aloft. The white flag is showing, and we'll be going racing the next time around. Again, Ronnie Lamell in the 98, Dave Davis in the 12, Bobby Gaeta in the 36. Pete Daniels in car 75 on the inside of row 4, just behind the Dale Shaw number 09. And once again, we're going to try to get this one underway out of turn number 4. Lamell and Davis bring him down. The green flags are out, and we are racing the first qualifying heat for the Busch North Touring Late Models. And it's Ronnie Lamell moving into the early lead in car 98. Dave Davis working in second. Here comes Kenny Bouchard in the 72 up in third. Bobby Gaeta working the downstairs groove in car 36. Completing lap number 1, Lamell leads him down into turn number 1. Lamell opens up a modified car length lead advantage over Dave Davis. Side by side racing for third. It's Gaeta in the 36, Bouchard in the 72, and here comes Dale Shaw attempting to make it a three-way tussle for the number 3 position. Shaw moves to the inside lane to challenge Kenny Bouchard for the number 4 spot, right behind the third place number 36 of Bobby Gaeta. And Stub Fadden wants to get involved in this one too in car number 16. Lamell continues to set the pace up in front in car 98. Dave Davis holding on to the number 2 spot in car 12. Bobby Gaeta is third in the 36. The action going on behind the Gaeta 36 as Kenny Bouchard in the 72. Dale Shaw in the 09. Stubb Fadden in the number 16. And here comes Tony Hirschman in the 1. All going in for spot 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're at the halfway point of this qualifying heat. 5 down, 5 to go as they pass into the cross flags. The starter Dale Easterly. Ronnie Lamell continues to lead in car 98 with Dave Davis working in second in car number 12. The field of Busch North cars starting to string out just a bit behind the lead duo. Gaeta holds on to third with Bouchard running in fourth. Dale Shaw in the 09 working in fifth with Tony Hirschman in the 1 moving to the outside of the Stubb Fadden number 16. Ronnie Lamell and Dave Davis continue to run up in front now. Bouchard in the 72, looking to challenge Bobby Gaeta for the number 3 spot. Gaeta skates up high just a little bit in turn number 2. Bouchard unable to take advantage of that one. And here comes Dale Shaw moving to the inside of Bouchard through turns 3 and 4. Dale Shaw has moved down to the inside lane. He's by Bouchard, and it looks like he's going to be putting a move on Bobby Gaeta down the back chute. The white flag being shown to your leaders, Ronnie Lamell and Dave Davis. The race is for third place as Gaeta in the 36, Shaw in the 09, and Bouchard in the 72, all going at it hot and heavy for position number 3. Here comes Ronnie Lamell out of turn number 4 to score the victory. Dave Davis in car 12 is second. The race for third place, it's going to be... That's a close one between Bobby Gaeta and Dale Shaw. I can't call that one from up here in the tower. Ronnie Bouchard across the line, Kenny Bouchard, excuse me, across the line in 5th, followed by Tony Hirschman in the 1, Stubb Fadden in the 16. Ronnie Lamell picking up the victory in car number 98. Dave Davis coming in second in car number 12. Gaeta in the 36. Scored in third with Dale Shaw in car number 09 coming across the line in fourth. Kenny Bouchard completing the top 5 in car number 72. Just a taste of the action you'll be seeing a little bit later in the Busch 150. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of heat number 1 in car 98, Ronnie Lamell.
Starting lineup. On the pole, car number 57, Tim Bender from Colden, New York. On the outside, car number 15, Mike Roll from Turner, Maine. Second on the inside, it's car number 94, Steve Hoddick from Cheektowaga. On the inside, and on the outside, it's car number 61, Mike Olson from North Haverhill, New Hampshire. Third row on the inside, car number 17, Bobby Brunell from Peru, New York. And on the outside, the only Ford in the field, Dave Dion from Hudson, New Hampshire, the Continental Paving Ford. Next row on the inside, car number 17, we mentioned him, Bobby Brunel, 61 on the outside. Then it's the 06, next in line, Rick Miller from Claremont, New Hampshire. On the outside, it's car number 11, Bob Healy from Stoughton, Massachusetts. Car number 66, Dean Ferry from Port Colborne, Ontario. And car number 22, Jeff Berry from Norwich, Connecticut. So there's your starting lineup for the second qualifying heat for the Busch Grand National North Tour. Tim Bender, the Orchard Park Ready Mix Chevrolet, starts on the inside of row number 1, while on the outside it's car number 15, Mike Rowe. 94, next on the inside of row 2 is Steve Hoddick, and on the outside of Hoddick is Dave Dion, car number 29. Next it's car number 17 of Bob Brunel. On the outside it's car number 11 of Bob Healy as they take the white flag indicating they should go green the next time by. The lights go off on the Ron Corbo Oldsmobile pace car. They have the field in tow as they head down the main straightaway. The 06 is the next car in line, and Rick Miller from Claremont, New Hampshire is the driver on that car. We mentioned Dean Ferry and car number 66. And at the back of the pack, car number 22, Jeff Berry with a 91 Oldsmobile. Cars in good formation as they head into turn number 3 and 4, heading for that acceleration line over in turn number 4. They move off turn 4. They head for the starting line. The green flag's waved. Heat number 2 is underway. Timmy Bender takes the lead on the inside. Car number 57, the 15 of Mike Rowe on the outside. Bender down low and Rowe up high in the battle for the lead. Hoddick running third as they head for turn number 3 and 4. Dion is fourth, car number 29. As they head down the main straightaway, Tim Bender leads the pack into turn number 1 and 2. Bender still in the lead, the 15 car of Mike Rowe holding the second spot. The back end kicked out on Rowe. He retained control, but Hoddick moved right up behind him in car number 94. Dion holding down the 4th spot. Car number 29, the 61 car running 5th, challenging for 4th. That's Mike Olson. Dion going to the inside of Hoddick. 29 going to the inside of 94 as they head into turn number 3 and 4 as the 15 car of Mike Rowe gets right up close on the back bumper of Timmy Bender, car number 57. Bender holds the lead through turns number 1 and 2. Roll back in the second spot in 15. Hoddick holding third. Dion is fourth. Side by side for the 6th spot between car number 17 of Bobby Brunel and the 06 car driven by Rick Miller. The battle now shaping up for the lead as Bender tries to hold off the charge of Mike Rowe. They both went up to the outside of the track, and with that move, the 94 of Hoddick trying to pass on the inside as the cross lights come out. 5 laps completed, 5 laps to go. These cars are going so fast they blew Dale Easterly's hat off down on the flag stand. Look at this battle for the lead as they head into turn number 3 and 4. The 57 of Bender trying to hold off the 15 of Rowe as they thunder out of that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. They pass the stands into turn number 1 and 2. They're getting a black flag out on Dean Ferry. Problems on their car, but look at the leaders here side by side into 3 and 4. Up high it's Rowe, down low it's Bender as they accelerate off that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. And the 15 of Mike Rowe takes the lead when they pass the stands that time. Rowe up in front, Bender back in the 2nd spot. Dion has moved up to 3rd as he passes Hoddick on the inside through turn number 3 and 4. Off that 4th turn, onto the main straightaway. 2 laps to go, 2 more times around. The leader, Mike Rowe, car number 15. Rowe up in front. Bender is second. They're side by side for 3rd. Dave Dion on the inside, car number 29. Steve Hoddick on the outside in 94. Side by side through turn number 3 and 4. White flag time, 1 lap to go. 1 more time around. Your leader is Mike Rowe. Timmy Bender running second in 57. Steve Hoddick has regained 3rd in 94. Dave Dion back to 4th, car number 29. And 94 is in trouble. Turn 4, he spins right in front of the pack. The checkered flags come out. Mike Rowe wins it, car number 15. Rowe is the winner in car number 15 as Hoddick looped the 94 car, a 180 spin up there in 3 and 4, and everybody gets by okay. Beautiful driving by everybody involved there as they got around the 94. Hoddick went way to the outside that time, luckily, before the car broke loose and went into the spin, and everybody got low to miss him. Here is the winner of Busch Grand National North, heat number 2. Let's welcome.
coming over tonight.
The first of our feature events this evening for the Challenger Division. 15 laps will be the distance and the way they'll be starting. Up in front, number 33 is Mike Chapman out of Springville. On his outside in car number 9, Rick Winger of Blaisdell. Row number 2 on the inside, car number 76, Billy Kane of Hamburg. On his outside in car 37, it's Eddie Murray of Buffalo. Row 3 on the inside, car number 42 is Joe Eck out of Buffalo. On his outside in car 68 from Buffalo, Gil Myers. Row number 4 on the inside, car number 12, Gowanda driver Herschel Two Guns. On his outside, car number 85 from Blaisdell, it's Patrick Eck. Row number 5 on the inside, car number 27, Dave Nelligan from Javis Center. On his outside, in car number 1, it's Neil Hopkins from West Falls. Back lane, the 07 is Jeff Graff of Strikersville. On the outside, in the 24, it's fast Freddie Groff from Arcade. The 89, John Price of Buffalo. On his outside, it's the 55 of Noel King from Arcade. Number 84, Brian Reichel of Buffalo. Flanking him is the 66 of Delavan's Rich Morgan. Car number 14, Mike Flagg of Buffalo. On his outside, in the 95, it's Danny Martinez. A row back, it's the 87 of Buffalo's Don Hochstein. On his outside, the winner of last week's feature event in this division, the number 39, Mike Jividan of West Seneca. Then we have the number 34 of West Seneca's Awesome Al Grimmer. And alongside another West Seneca driver in car number 19, Jerry Byrne. Last row on the inside, first time out in 1991 for John Gast in the 09. And on his outside in car number 5, it's Dean Stanbro. "24 cars will start this 15-lap Challenger feature event. Dick Hartman wheels the Ron Corbel Olds Holland Speedway pace car into the infield. Chapman and Winger lead him down. The green flags are out, and we are racing. It's Rick Winger in car number 9 leading him down, and we have trouble in turn number 2. Patrick Eck, Gil Myers, and Freddie Groff all coming together, but somehow, someway, they all manage to keep them straight, and they race on. Rick Winger, your early race leader in car number 9. Eddie Murray working in second. Billy Kane and Mike Chapman side by side for third place in the early going. Our entry-level division of racing. Hot and heavy action in the early going, and Bill Kane slowing down right in the middle of the pack in car number 76. The car scattering to get around the slowing 76 of Billy Kane. The car slowing in the worst place possible, right in the middle groove on the back chute. Somehow he manages to find his way down to the infield, and everybody races onward. We have 4 abreast coming out of turn 2 down the back chute. And trouble in turn 3 and 4 as Rick Winger in the 9 and Eddie Murray in the 37 while up in front coming together. The caution flag is out. We slow the field down, and trouble on the slowdown as we have cars spinning into turn number 1. The Chapman 33 and Patrick Eck in the 85 came together as the caution flag was being shown. The caution flag was being shown as Rick Winger, while leading in car number 9, had trouble in turn number 4. The caution flag comes out, and more trouble ensues in turn number 1 as Chapman in the 33 and Patrick Eck in the 85 getting together. We have 3 laps in the record books, and we are under caution in this Challenger feature race. Cars have been pulled from their parking spot to the inside of turn number 1. The Patrick Eck 85 and Mike Chapman in the 33. We're going to go racing this time around. 3 laps down, 12 laps remaining in this Challenger feature event. Up in front it will be on this restart the number 42 of Joe Eck and the number 12 of Herschel Two Gun sharing the front row. The Ron Corbel Old Holland Speedway pace car will be moving off the track. Eck and Two Guns lead them out of turn number 4. The green flags are out, and we are racing once again. And on the restart, Two Guns in the 12. Races past Joe Eck to claim the lead. Eck right there working on the inside lane, attempting to challenge Two Guns and reclaim the number 1 spot. Going to turn number 3. The rear end of the X42 kicking out just a bit. He straightens it out, but Two Guns maintains the lead advantage in car number 12. Here comes Dave Milligan in car 27. Two Guns getting up high in turn number 2. Two Guns too high, and Dave Milligan takes command in the 27. Jeff Graff follows through to grab second. Joe Eck getting sideways in turn number 3, collects Neil Hopkins into number 1, straightens Joe Eck right out, and Hopkins takes the overland route through the infield to move back onto the speedway. We continue under green flag conditions. It's Dave Nelligan, your race leader in car 27. Jeff Graff working in second in the 07. Here comes Brian Reichel in the 84. They're going to try to make it 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. Nelligan in the middle, Graff up high, Reichel down low. And it's Brian Reichel trading paint with Dave Nelligan through turns 1 and 2, and down the back chute, Reichel has an ever so slight lead advantage. And trouble in the back chute. A few cars coming together. Johnny Price and Freddie Groff against the wall. Down in the infield, it's Gil Myers and Neil Hopkins. And the caution flag is out. Starter Dale Easterly brings out the white flag. We're going to go racing the next time around, as the debris from the back chute accident has been cleaned up. We have 7 laps down, 8 laps to go in this Challenger feature event. As they double up for the restart, it's Brian Reichel in the 84, Dave Nelligan in the 27 up in front, Jeff Graff in the 07, Mike Jivinen in the 39 in row 2, Mike Flagg in the 14, Herschel Two Guns in the 12 in row 3, row 4 is Danny Martinez in car 95, Jerry Byrne in the 19, and row 5, it's Patrick Eck in car 85 and Noel King in the 55. Your top 10 at this point in the race. As the field of cars hits the acceleration line painted in turn 4, the green flags will appear and will be under green conditions all the way around the track. Reichel and Nelligan lead them into turn 4. The green flag is out, and we are racing once again. It's Reichel taking the inside lane to lead the pack through turns 1 and 2. Jeff Graff pulls alongside of Dave Nelligan in the race for the number 2 spot. Brian Reichel in car 84 leading the way back in turn 4. Mike Flagg in the 14 getting crossed up, collects Herschel Two Guns, Patrick Eck, and Dean Stanbro is nowhere to go but into the Eck 85, and the caution flag is out. Mike Flagg getting crossed up in traffic, collects a number of other competitors in the process, and we have virtually a blocked track over there in turn number 4. The field being told to slow way down and take the deep inside lane as Billy Kane in the 76 and Patrick Eck in the 85 are hooked up. Herschel Two Guns stuffed in the wall in car number 12. Dean Stanbro in car number 5, wrong place the wrong time as Eck was right in front of him. Stanbro had nowhere to go. He got in the binders. Starter Dale Easterly preparing to show the white flag to the field of Challenger racers. They've cleaned up the debris from the turn 4 incident and towed off the cars that have too damaged to continue. Herschel Two Guns number 12 showing a lot of damage in that ride. And we'll be going racing in one more lap. 8 laps have been completed, 7 laps remain. And the number 33 of Mike Chapman has come to a halt in turns 3 and 4. Now Mike underway, although he's moving his car directly into the infield as the rest of his Challenger competitors receive the white flag from Dale Easterly, which means we'll be back under green flag conditions the next time around. Brian Reichel at the point in car number 84. Jeff Graff in the 07 flanking him. Row 2, it's Dave Nelligan in car 27, Mike Jividen in car 39. Row 3, Jerry Byrne in the 19, Eddie Murray in the 37. Row 4, it's Rick Winger in car 9, Noel King in the 55, and completing the top 10 in row 5 at this point, it's the 24 of Freddie Groff and the 1 of Neil Hopkins. We see that John Price in the 89 has made it back out of the track, but he lost 1 lap in the pits, so John Price is 1 lap down to the rest of the field at this point in the Challenger feature event. The pace car will be moving off the track this time by. It'll be Reichel and Graff leading him down for the restart green. They get the green flag, and we are racing once again. Reichel and Graff drag racing into turn number 1. And neither giving an inch as they charge out of turn number 2 down the back chute. Jeff Graff in the 07 edges ahead of Brian Reichel into turn number 3. Reichel hoping the shorter lane, the inside lane, is the key to the victory. Graff trying to work the longer but faster outside lane. Moving down the back chute, Brian Reichel and Jeff Graff continue to run wheel to wheel for the number 1 slot. Dave Nelligan working in third in car 27. Mike Jivitin and Jerry Byrne going at it side by side for spots 4 and 5. Reichel moves out just ahead of Jeff Graff into turn number 1, but Graff makes up some ground through the turns. Reichel again through the straights, edging ahead of Graff, but Graff closing up through the outside faster lane in the turns. A spin back in the pack. That's Eddie Murray looping his ride, and Johnny Price also going. In car 89, Rick Winger just makes it around to Price 89, and the caution flag is out. Caution flag showing on the Speedway as Murray in the 37 and Price in the 89 doing a duet in turn number 4. So, a great 2-car battle for the lead, slowed by yet another caution flag as Brian Reichel and Jeff Graff lap after lap of side-by-side racing for the number 1 spot.
Car number 89 has been sent to the pits. I don't know how many of you folks are watching him come up through the pack. He realized he was a lap down. He wanted to get back up in front with the leaders. Of course, in this points chase in this division, John Price in that number 89 car that was so torn up and just barely avoided a bad wreck up there when he was parked in turn 4 and got down in the infield, is running second in points, 18 behind the leader, who is Brian Reichel. Car number 84, Jimmy Jivitin, is running third in points with car number 39, followed by Neil Hopkins in 1. The big deal is that Price was really working over Freddie Groff, car number 24, and he gave Groff a pretty good rap, put him into another car, and in reality, Price set that deal up down in the number 4 turn when he got the 3 cars in front of him spinning. Then he almost became a victim of his own situation down there, so he hasn't been invited to take it in the pits and park it for the rest of this event.
The white flag has been shown to the field, and we're going to be going green the next time by. 12 laps down, 3 to go, and let's see if Brian Reichel in the 84 and Jeff Graff in the 07 pick up where they left off. Some great side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel racing up in front. 3 laps remain for the challengers in the first feature of the evening. Attrition playing a major role in this one as we're down to 14 of our original 24 starters. The green flag is out, and we are racing once again. And it's Graff moving into the lead on the restart, taking the high road out of turn number 2 in the 07. Brian Reichel settles back to run second. Jerry Byrne up in third in car number 19. Jeff Graff, your race leader, under the parallel flags, 2 to go. Brian Reichel holding right on tight on the inside lane. He's not going to let Jeff Graff go without a fight. Graff continues to lead down the back chute, but Brian Reichel running second. Here comes Jerry Byrne up in third. Byrne looking to make it a 3-way race for the lead. They'll be looking at the white flag this time by Graff and Reichel running a tight 1 and 2. Jeff Graff continues to lead. He took the lead on this restart on lap number 13. Brian Reichel has 2 more turns to the wheel in which to challenge Graff. Here they come out of turn number 4, and it's going to be the 07 of Graff with the win. Brian Reichel finishes second. Jerry Byrne third. Dave Nelligan fourth. Freddie Groff is fifth. So Jeff Graff picks up his first feature victory of 1991 here at Holland Speedway. Some great wheel-to-wheel racing with Brian Reichel in this one. And finally passes Reichel for good on that lap 13 restart to secure the victory. And the Oldsmobile number 07 from Strikersville, ladies and gentlemen, your Challenger feature winner, Jeff Graff.
Winston Racing Series Charger Division of Cars. Thunder in the Hills, Holland International Speedway. Starting lineup on the pole. Car number 7, Jimmy Clark. On the outside of the front row, car number 02, Kevin Galligan. Second row on the inside is car number 22, Tony Calverley. On the outside, 17, Carl Nagel. Third row inside, number 10, Bob Slippy. On the outside, 65, Johnny Spores. 03, Vern Bliss. Car number 6 is Jimmy Scora. Number 31, Bill Smith. 41, Ken Froh. 01, Joe Barber. 53, Mike Wiedemann. 28, Chuck Egan. 18, Rich Pocabello. 00, Al Conti. 32, Mark Hasmerit. Number 1, Phil Lamonte. Car number 3, Dan Grigsby. 99, Brian Hoffman. 47, Art Eisensmith. Number 57, Gary Giglio. Number 29 is Tim Kropovich, and at the back of the pack, number 49, Jeff Ripstein. That is your starting lineup for the 25-lap feature race for the Charger Division of Cars. The 1 to go signal shown on the flag stand as the field heads slowly behind the pace car up into turns number 1 and 2. The lights go off on the Ron Corbo Oldsmobile pace car. Jimmy Clark sets the pace from the pole position with car number 7. Down on the inside of the front row, Kevin Galligan up on the outside. Tony Calverley in 22, Carl Nagel in 17, Bob Slippy in 10, Johnny Spores in 65, Vern Bliss in 03, Jimmy Scora in 6, 31, Bill Smith, 41, Ken Froh, 01, Joe Barber, 53, Mike Wiedemann, 28, Chuck Egan, 18, Rich Pocabello, 00, Al Conte, 32, Mark Kazmarek, number 1, Phil Lamonte, 99, Brian Hoffman, 47, Art Eisensmith, 57, Gary Giglio. As the field heads out of turn number 3 and 4, they head for the starting stripe, and the green flags wave, and the Charger feature is underway. As they head into turn number 1 and 2, Jimmy Clark has a pile up. Turn number 2, we got a wreck set up in turn number 2. 02 and 22 collect each other right at the front of the pack. The rest of the field scatters high and low, and it looks like everybody gets by. No, we got one car stopped down in the infield, and Danny Grigsby's come to a halt over there in car number 3. And we're getting word of a problem on the 99 car. Okay, he's got a flat tire in the left rear. Brian Hoffman heads for pit road, car number 99, flat tire, left rear corner. Well, the crash scene has been picked up on the back straightaway, and we're ready to resume action here at Holland International Speedway. As we prepare for the restart of this 25-lap event, we have 1 lap completed and 24 to go. Car number 1 has been given the black flag to pull off the track due to mechanical problems with his car, and apparently Rich Pocabello in 18 will be able to make it back out for the restart. You see Kenny Hanghauer's down there ready to talk to Timmy Kropovich, car number 29. However, we're about ready to go back under green flag racing as the lights are off on the pace car. The white flag has been shown to the front of the field as they came past the flag stand that time. So we prepare for a restart with 1 lap completed and 24 to go. Now the restart line should come into play up there in turn number 4 as the front of the pack, Jimmy Clark, and now Bob Slippy up on the outside. Hit that stripe. Dale Easterly looks him over. The green comes out. The green lights go on, and we're back under racing conditions here at Holland Speedway in the Charger feature. And Bob Slippy takes car number 10 in turn number 1 and 2 with a slight advantage over Art Clark in 7. Slippy up in front. Jimmy Clark, correction on that one, back in car number 7 in the second spot. The battle for third between Kenny Froh and car number 41 on the outside, and Johnny Spores down on the inside with car number 65. Slippy up in front. Clark runs second. Froh is third. Side by side for fourth between John Spores and 65. Billy Smith in 31. They've got Chuck Egan right behind them in 28. Jimmy Scora closing fast in the 6 car as they come off turn 4 and down the main straightaway. Past the stands into turn number 1 and 2. And your lead cars, car number 10, Bob Slippy. Slippy is the leader. Jimmy Clark and Kenny Froh battle for that runner-up position, 7 and 41. Here comes Froh down on the inside. Clark up high as they race side by side down the main straightaway. Door handle to door handle into turn number 1 and 2. Slippy up in front. Froh with a slight advantage over Jimmy Clark as they head down the back straightaway in that side-by-side duel for the second spot. Johnny Spores back in the 4th position in 65, being challenged by Chuck Egan in car number 28. And as Egan moves up on Spores, he brings car number 6 up with him as we've got a spin on the main straightaway. Al Conte Car number 00 gets spun here on the main straightaway, and we're going to get the caution flag out. Well, that wild spin here on the main straightaway, and the 00 came to rest right down here, and there was a very dangerous position for that automobile, and so things were brought under the caution flag. As we look on the backstretch, there goes Rich Pocabello off into the pit area, car number 18, and as soon as that restart took place, the 03 of Vern Bliss, you see parked in the infield, had something go wrong, and Bliss is over there with the hood up, but he pulled off the track on the back straightaway right on the restart. And Dale Easterly brings out the white flag on the flag stand, saying restart time the next time they hit turn number 4. Well, on this restart, we have a new leader, and it's Bob Slippy and the Slippy's Collision and Haddad Insurance Agency and Everling Chevrolet and Ford, number 10. On the outside of him, running in second spot, is car number 41, Kenny Froh. Jimmy Clark runs third. Car number 7, the 65 of John Spores, runs fourth. Chuck Egan is fifth with car number 28. Jimmy Score running sixth in car number 6. Followed by Billy Smith in number 31, Mike Wiedemann in 53, and then it's the 01 of Joe Barber. Rest of the cars pulling into formation. Mark Kazmarek up alongside of Barber. Mark driving car number 32. Dan Grigsby is back out there in 3. Jeff Ripstein has gained some positions as he's moved up from the original start with car number 49. Field moving slowly down the back straightaway. They've turned off the roof light on the Corbeau Oldsmobile pace cars. The field moves slowly toward turn number 3 and 4, and that restart line up there all the way across the track in turn 4. Bob Slippy and Kenny Froh side by side. Car number 10, car number 41 as they approach the embarkation point up there in turn number 4. The green flag waves and the restart is underway, and Bob Slippy gets a good jump on the restart and leads the field into turn number 1. Slippy is the leader, car number 10, Froh back in second at 41. Jimmy Clark is third. Chuck Egan has advanced to fourth and 28 and is starting to move up on the front 3 cars. As they come sweeping off that fourth turn, Kenny Froh looks for room to pass on the inside as he challenges Bob Slippy with car number 10. Slippy still leads it with Froh in pursuit as they head out of the second turn down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Chuck Egan in car number 28 moves in on Jimmy Clark, and he's going to try and get third away from Clark as the field heads down the main straightaway. Bob Slippy still is the lead car as they head for turn number 1 and 2. Kenny Froh moving in from that second position, about a 2-car advantage for Slippy over Ken Froh as they head for the third turn. Jimmy Clark trying to protect that third spot. Ken Froh doing everything or rather Chuck Egan taking that 28 car, trying to get it around Jimmy Clark's car number 7. Ken Froh has moved another car length back from Bob Slippy, but still rides in the second spot. It's Jimmy Clark, Chuck Egan, and now Mike Wiedemann in that order. And here comes Joe Barber on the move in car number 01. Barber biding his time, working through traffic, now trying to move up on the pack as they head out of the number 2 turn and down the back straightaway. As they move out of that fourth turn, onto the main straightaway, the leader is car number 10, Bob Slippy. Kenny Froh running second in car number 10, or rather 41. 10 is the leader, 41 Froh is second. Clark runs third and 7. Egan is fourth and 28. Mike Wiedemann runs fifth, car number 53, and then it's Joe Barber in car number 01. Chuck Egan is the points leader in this division, and Joe Barber is second, only 4 points behind, and that's what we were checking to see how the point standings could shuffle around depending on the outcome of this event. The lead pack moves out of that number 4 turn to be greeted by the cross flags indicating the halfway point in the race has been reached. 13 laps have been completed, 12 laps to go. Bob Slippy leads at car number 10. Kenny Froh back in the second spot. Car number 41, the battle for third between number 7, Jimmy Clark, 28, Chuck Egan, 53, Mike Wiedemann. Here comes Joe Barber to make it a 4-car battle for position number 3. Meanwhile, back up front, they're tightening up between number 10, Bob Slippy, and the 41 of Kenny Froh. Froh dropped about 3 car lengths behind. He's now about a half a car length back of Bob Slippy and putting on the pressure. The lead pack starting to close up on a lap car as they head out of that second turn and down the back straightaway. Bob Slippy in 10, being challenged by Kenny Froh, car number 41, as they close on a lap car moving off that fourth turn. Dale Easterly motions to the lap car to move to the inside as the front two cars come by. Still a half car length advantage for Bob Slippy over Kenny Froh as they've now cleared the lap car and head into turn number 3 and 4. Through turn 4, Slippy holds the lead. Froh back in the second spot. Now we drop back to that battle for third. Jimmy Clark, car number 7, Chuck Egan in 28, Mike Wiedemann in 53, and Joe Barber, car number 01. Four-car battle, third position, down the back straightaway. And meanwhile, we better go back up front and take a look because number 41, Kenny Froh, just went to the inside and made a move on Bob Slippy in car number 10. Froh really putting the pressure on Slippy as they head down the back straightaway. Now they got two lap cars in front of them as they head for turn number 3 and 4. The leaders heading off that fourth turn in lap traffic as they head down the main straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Slippy up in front. Froh is second. Froh in the catbird seat, watching Slippy work traffic as they move out of the second turn and down the back straightaway. As they head off that number 4 turn, Kenny Froh only inches off the back bumper of Bob Slippy as they head into turn number 1 and 2. The battle for the lead continues between Bob Slippy and car number 10, Kenny Froh in 41, and they still got to clear one more lap car as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Moving out of that fourth turn, onto the main straightaway. The lap car of Kevin Galligan being motioned to the inside. The leaders go by upstairs, and that battle up front continues between Bob Slippy in 10, Kenny Froh in 41. Meanwhile, the battle for third still rages on between Jimmy Clark in 7, Chuck Egan in 28, Mike Wiedemann in 53, and Joe Barber in car number 01. As they're in a tight group pack battling for that third on-back positions as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Jimmy Clark still holding that third position. Chuck Egan is fourth, Mike Wiedemann fifth, and sixth is Joe Barber. The double flags come out up front on the leaders, and it's 2 laps to go. 2 more times around. Bob Slippy still up in front, and they've got, again, lap traffic in front of them. They could catch that lap traffic with the 2 remaining laps in this 25-lap affair. Now Chuck Egan goes to the inside of Jimmy Clark on the white flag lap, trying to take that third position. Clark up high, Egan down low as they take the white flag going past the stands into turn number 1 and 2. The leader slowed by lap traffic into turn number 3 and 4. Out of that fourth turn, onto the main straightaway, checkered flag for Bob Slippy. 41, Kenny Froh is second. The battle for third, it's Jimmy Clark, it's Chuck Egan, Mike Wiedemann, and Joe Barber in that order. And the first 6 cars across the line in the feature race for the Chargers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the driver of car number 10 was our champion in the Challenger division 2 years ago. Last year he moved into the Charger division. He found the competition really tough, really stiff. He finally overcame it. His first feature victory in the Charger division at Holland International Speedway. Let's hear it for number 10, Bob Slippy. Haddad Insurance Agency in Springville, Emmerling Chevrolet Ford, Lars Auto Repair here in Holland, and Slippy's own collision shop in Springville. The sponsors on the Slippery Banana, car number 10, the driver Bob Slippy. Well, and here's the folks heading through the stands with a 4-score 50-50 tickets. They're going to have the drawing for this, I believe, after we're talking about having it after the limited modified feature, but there's not going to be an intermission after the limited modified, Dave. We're going to keep right on going with the late models, and then the intermission will be after the late model. So you may want to keep selling tickets until after the late model feature. Obviously, that's your decision, but let us know what you folks do decide, and we'll pass the word on to the crowd. Usually we have an intermission before the late models. Tonight we will not. The show will continue right through the late model feature. Then, time permitting, we'll take a brief intermission. We'll have the 50-50 drawing. We'll do all of our other intermission type things. We'll do the introduction of the Busch Grand National starting field right down on the track. We'll introduce them individually, one by one. Let all of you folks get to meet the stars of the Busch Grand National North Touring Division. Now returning to Victory Lane, winner of our Charger feature this evening. How about another nice round of applause for the gentleman from Springville, Bob Slippy. Boy, look at the grin on Bob Slippy's face. It's as wide as the windshield on his race car. A lot of fans up here in the stands. This is a really great guy. He loves to ride snowmobiles in winter and drive race cars in the summertime. This guy is a champion at having
Well, we're going to
fun.
give Bob Slippy an opportunity to catch his breath.
Kenny
He said
Hangour.
it's a very hot race. Looked like you and Ken Froh. It was a two-horse race, and you were the better mount out there tonight, Bobby.
Kenny ran a real good race. When we got over in the backstretch, I thanked him for it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure glad I finally got one.
Bob, your first ever in the NASCAR Chargers. Of course, you're a former champion here in the Challenger division. Great deal of difference, I guess, from Challenger champion trying to make your way in NASCAR Chargers.
Yeah, we had a lot of handling problems last year, and they were serious enough that we couldn't do anything about them until the end of the year. And I was real pleased with the way the car came out this year, and then we kept fine-tuning it, and it was a little loose just now, but loose is fast, so I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get around the quickest way. You can the 3/8 mile here at Holland International Speedway. Bobby, it looked like you were driving two race cars. Were you showing your full hand about lap number, let's say about 16? It looked like you let Ken Froh catch up and then at the very end buried it and just ran away.
What I was doing was saving my tires. I remember in the Challengers once, I think it was mid-season, I kind of was showing off and I lost my tires, so I thought, well, Kenny's a little bit behind me, so I'll just save my tires a little bit. And then before I knew it, he was on my butt again, so I thought I better get going.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. They catch up to you here on the 3/8 at Holland International Speedway. Bob, we know that you have a lot of sponsors. You got a host of them on your race car, and I know there's folks over on Pit Road that certainly put Bob Slippy up here in Victory Circle. We can thank them tonight, Bob.
Yep, and I sure hope I don't forget any. There's my shop, Slippy's Collision, Emmerling, Chevy, Ford, Mercury, Geo, Haddad's Insurance Agency, Lair's Auto, Formula One Automotive, Ron's Fix-It. Can I go look at the other side? Lamb and Webster, Bill Edwards Heating and Roofing. I think that's all of them. I sure hope I didn't forget any.
How about the folks in the crew?
Yeah, a lot of thanks to them. A couple of them are sitting right up there in the yellow jackets. First of all, my wife. Thank you, hon. And Denny Danes and Brad and Chris, my son, is in the pits. And my father and Jack and Jeff and oh yeah, Brian. Brian helps too.
Well, Bob, it looks like you loaded everybody from East Concord and brought them all down here. Once again, congratulations. How about, ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for the NASCAR Charger feature winner, Bobby Slippy.
Limited modifieds on the Speedway for their 20-lap main event, and the way they're scheduled to start up in front in car number 76. The Pioneer Motorsports ride, it's Rick Jones out of Arcade. On his outside in the Lair's Auto Stop, AW Dye Insurance number 43, Larry Havens of Chafee. Row number 2 on the inside of the Cindy's Embroidery sponsor number 2, it's Dave Bailey from Newfane. On the outside of row 2 in the Java Collision number 21, Larry Dominici from Varysburg. Row 3 inside lane, the Daly's Used Cars number 8 of Kay Daly out of Forestville. On his outside in the oil equipment number 6, the Pink Thing of Danny O'Brien from Marilla. Row 4 inside, car number 3, the Parco Manufacturing ride of Don Wiley of Buffalo. On his outside in the Holland Oil number 01, it's John Barber of Bliss. Row number 5 inside lane, the Gowanda Glass number 63, Jeff Johnson. On his outside in car number 19, the Hat and Hair Pub ride of Dave Reese from Holland. Row 6 inside in the Harris Sure Save number 66, it's Leighton Graham from Angelica. On his outside in the McLean Enterprises number 44, Harry Nicholson from Hamilton, Ontario. The last car in the starting grid in the JRS Smoke Shop sponsor, number 26, Art Jimerson. Lucky 13 cars set to go 20 laps in the main event for the 6-cylinder limited modifieds. Larry Havens led all 20 laps start to finish a week ago. He has a prime front row starting spot on this one. Keep your eye on the number 43 of Havens, but don't discount Past feature winners, Danny O'Brien in the 6, John Barber in the 0-1, and always a threat, Donnie Wiley in car number 3. Kay Daly in car number 8 running strong as of late as well. Here they come, picking up the pace out of turn number 4. Jones and Havens leading down, the green flags are out, and we are racing. And as expected, Larry Havens jumps into the early lead in car number 43. Jones settles back to run second. Larry Dominici up in third in car 21. Dave Bailey working fourth in the deuce, and the 6 of Danny O'Brien completes the top 5 to complete lap number 1 of the scheduled 20-lap main event. Havens has quickly opened up about an 8-car length advantage over the Rick Jones 76. Dominici continues to hold third, but he skates up high through turns 3 and 4, and Danny O'Brien motors by to the inside in car number 6 to lay claim to the number 3 position. Larry Havens, your race leader. Rick Jones working in second. Danny O'Brien is third, and a little bumping down the back chute as Dominici and Bailey making a little contact, but both cars race onward. Dominici the 21 working in fourth, and here comes Johnny Barber in the 0-1 driving around Dave Bailey for the number 5 slot. It's Larry Havens rolling away with this one. The real action now going on to the number 4 position. It's Dominici in the 21, Barber in the 0-1, Bailey in the 2, and Wiley in the 3. A tight foursome for the 4th place. Barber taking the outside lane, manages to get around Dominici for the number 4 spot, and Don Wiley attempting to follow through, but Dominici closed the door coming out of turn number 2. Wiley, though, finds some room and draws alongside of Dominici through turns 3 and 4, and Wiley now has the number 5 position. Setting the scene for you, up in front, all by his lonesome. It's the number 43 of Larry Havens who'll be dealing with some lap traffic this time by as he completes lap number 6. Then way back, nearly a full straightaway back, the race for second place. It's the number 76 of Rick Jones and the 6 of Danny O'Brien going at it for spots 2 and 3. And just a few car lengths back, currently riding 4th and 5th, it's the 0-1 of John Barber and the 3 of Donnie Wiley. Larry Havens really huge lead in this one, and we're soon going to have a 4-car tussle for the number 2 spot as Barber in the 0-1 and Wiley in the 3 are quickly closing on the duo of Rick Jones and Danny O'Brien. That foursome going wide in turn 4 to get around the lap cars of Leighton Graham and Art Jefferson. Jones in the 76 finds Danny O'Brien in car 6 pulling alongside in the inside lane. Danny O'Brien working the downstairs groove through turns 3 and 4, and O'Brien comes out of turn number 4 in the number 2 slot and has Johnny Barber in tow. Barber sails right on by Rick Jones as well to grab the number 3 position, and Wiley and Jones making a little contact. Wiley hard on the binders to avoid a worse scenario in turn number 2, but he loses some ground to Rick Jones in the 76. We have a car spinning in turn number 4. That's Larry Dominici in the 21 has looped his ride, and the caution flag is out, and Larry Havens' straightaway lead has now disappeared. The caution flag showing, and the full straightaway lead advantage that Larry Havens was enjoying has now become that of a mere car length over his closest pursuers, the 6 of Danny O'Brien, the 0-1 of John Barber, the 76 of Rick Jones, and the 3 of Don Wiley. 11 down, 9 to go when we get green flag conditions once again. So Larry Dye, they always call the caution flag the great equalizer, and in this case, that is certainly holding true.
Yeah, and you know, some people have been wondering, I'm sure, how come the Havens number 43 started up front. The reason being is that we take finishes over the last 3 races here at Holland Speedway to determine the feature lineup, and Larry Havens has had, despite the fact he's got a fantastic race car and he's a great driver, he's had a terrible run of luck here at Holland International Speedway. So you take his average finishes over the past 3 weeks, divide by 3, and the guy's way up in the starting lineup. That's why he's up there. He took advantage of that very wisely. He ran away, built up as big a lead he could. He hoped there would be no caution flag, but unfortunately, due to that spin down in turn number 4, the caution had to come out. The car would not restart. He was in harm's way up there, right where they exit turn number 4. We had no choice but to bring out the caution flag. That has tightened the field. Equalizer is right. We got a real shootout on our hands for the next 9 laps.
Starter Dale Easterly displayed the white flag to the field the last time by. We're going to be getting a restart green now. 9 laps remaining and a whole new complexion for this one. Larry Havens now finds a lot of fast company right behind him in the form of Danny O'Brien, John Barber, Rick Jones, and Don Wiley. The green flag is out, and we are racing once again. Havens got a nice jump on the restart, however, and quickly opens up about a 5-car length lead advantage over Danny O'Brien in the 6th. John Barber working on Danny O'Brien to try to move into the number 2 spot, and in the meantime, Donnie Wiley has driven around Rick Jones to grab position number 4. Havens holding on to about a steady 5-car length lead advantage over the duo of O'Brien and Barber. O'Brien is more concerned right now with holding up the challenges of John Barber than chasing down race leader Larry Havens at this point. Barber looking for some running room to the inside of O'Brien, and he might have found it in turn 3, except now Barber getting squirrely through turns 3 and 4, and he loses a lot of ground to O'Brien and allows Don Wiley to sail on by to grab position number 3. Tough break for John Barber. It looks like he was making a move to the inside of Danny O'Brien. Suddenly the car wiggles, and he's back in 4th place, just like that. And we have a spin in turn number 4. Larry Dominici for the 2nd time decides to see what racing looks like in the wrong direction in turn number 4, and the caution flag is out once again. So Larry Dominici for the 2nd time in this event brings out the caution flag, and we have the field slowing under caution, and they'll assemble behind the Ron Corbel Olds Holland Speedway pace car. Will be Havens in the 43, O'Brien in the 6, Wiley in the 3, Barber in the 01, and Jones in the 76, your top 5 on this restart. We need Donna Drenu and Joe Ovid to please report to the Speedway office. Donna Drenu and Joe Ovid, please report to the Speedway office. That's on your left as you're leaving the Speedway grounds through the entrance gate. The white flag waving in the hands of starter Dale Easterly as we seek to conclude this 6-cylinder limited modified feature race. Lights are off atop the Ron Corbel Olds Holland Speedway pace car. Larry Havens needs to hold on for 4 more laps, and he'll have a rather interesting record over the last 2 weeks if he does succeed in holding on. 40 laps of feature racing, 40 laps of Larry Havens leading them if he holds on for the last 4 laps in this week's 20-lap limited modified feature race. They'll be picking up the pace and getting the restart through turn number 4. The green flag is out, and we are racing once again. And Havens times his start nicely and opens up quickly. A lead bulge over 2nd place Danny O'Brien in car number 6. O'Brien in the 6 will be given some company now in the form of Don Wiley in the 3 and John Barber in the 01. And Havens' lead is now up to about 8 car lengths over O'Brien in the 6. And Dale Easterly preparing the parallel flags. 2 to go for race leader Larry Havens in car 43. Havens will be looking at the white flag this time around. The final go-round for Larry Havens in car number 43 in this particular feature event. Danny O'Brien continues to hold on to 2nd with Don Wiley and John Barber providing the challenge. Through turns 3 and 4, looking at the checkers. This time by it's Larry Havens with the win. O'Brien is 2nd, Wiley 3rd, Barber is 4th, Dave Bailey 5th, followed by Rick Jones and Jeff Johnson.
We've just been advised that the gate is open at the Winston Paddock. I know a lot of the people wanted to go down there. We sell wine down there as well as beer. and also the TV monitors are there amongst other locations here at the Speedway. The gate is now open at the Winston paddock by turn number 1. Here is the winner of the modified feature, Larry Havens. And we've just been advised that the 50-50 is over $1,200, and you can still buy a ticket during the late model Pro Stock race. The next event will be the 30-lap feature race for the late model Pro Stocks, and after that is over, we'll have the drawing on the 50-50 four-score fan club drawing, and so there is still time if you haven't purchased a ticket to get one. It only costs $1, and you got a chance to win well over $1,200.
Well, as Larry Havens is completing his victory lap, it's a good night for cars sponsored by Slippy's Collision. Bob Slippy picking up the win in the NASCAR Charger feature race, and Slippy's Collision among the sponsors on the side of the 43, driven by Larry Havens, along with Draper Trucking, A.W. Dye Insurance, Welty Produce, the Valley Inn, and Lair's Auto Stop. Larry Havens back in victory lane, making it 2 in a row here. And as we've indicated, he's led all 20 laps for 2 weeks in a row, so 40 laps of race leading over the last 2 weeks, a pretty nifty record for the driver of car number 43. He's unbuckling himself from the cockpit of that racer, and he'll be climbing out in just a few short moments. And when he does, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you'll want to put your hands together for the winner of our 6-cylinder limited modified feature race. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, it's Larry Havens. Let's go trackside to Kenny Hangauer and our feature winner, Larry Havens. Kenny?
Well, Larry Havens, tonight, it was Larry Havens' benefit. You won the heat, you won the feature.
Well, it makes it easier when you start in the front row. Someday I'm going to have to start in the back again.
Yeah, absolutely. Front row certainly helps when you want to get your car around the racetrack. Larry, you ran your qualifying round during the bright sunshine, the heat really pounding down the track. What adjustments did you make between the qualifying heat, then you had to come out and run when it's somewhat darkened up here at Holland?
Well, we made the right adjustments. The car was a lot better in the feature than it was in the heat. Track's a little different tonight because the Busch guys lay down a lot of rubber, which we're not really used to around here.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot more rubber. In fact, I can feel it when I walk around down here. Larry, did you have to change your driving style because the track had a lot more rubber laid down?
No, you just adjust the car to get it the way you want it, that's all.
In other words, Larry Havens gets the car the way he wants it. It just kind of goes around almost by itself. Larry, I know you got a lot of sponsors on your race car, and I know there's folks in the crew, so we'll give you the opportunity to thank all of them.
Okay, I'd like to thank Draper Trucking, A.W. Dye, The Valley, Bob Welty's Produce, Slippy's Collision, Lair's Auto Stop, Fred Roberts Auto Parts, Mullen and Taylor Auto Parts, and Previty's Auto Wrecking.
Well said. How about, ladies and gentlemen, how nice round of applause, please, for the NASCAR Limited Modified winner, Larry Havens.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah. Say you will. Say it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, say you will. Say it better.
Winston Racing Series late model Pro Stock division now appears on the Speedway for their 30-lap feature race. Here is the starting lineup on the pole. Car number 5, Dale Buck. On the outside of the front row, car number 15, Joe Engelfinger. 2 back on the inside, car number 99, Rodney Arndt. On the outside, number 9, Sonny Whitmire. 3rd row, inside, 54, Buck Catalano. On the outside, number 11, Bobby Martin. 4th row, on the inside, car number 56, Mike Tico. On the outside of that row, car number 25, Manley Vosberg. Next row on the inside, the 04 of Danny Mason. On the outside is car number 64, his brother Dave Mason, last week's feature winner. Next in line is the 91 of Dave Heitzaus on the inside. On the outside, the 3 of Darrell Bobson. 7, Art Clark. 48, Rick Wiley. 17, Mike Vargo. 65, George Skorad. 28, Eldon King. Car number 10, Mike Feeblecorn. 89, Ashen Yelkin. 86, Gary Schwab. 61, Jeff Evans, and 45, Chuck Hebing. That's the starting lineup. 30 lap late model feature. The field accelerates into turn number 3 and 4. The green flag is out, and the 30 lap late model feature is underway. Into turn number 1 and 2, Dale Button right side by side with car number 15 of Joe Engelfinger as they head down the back straightaway. Rodney Arndt looks for room to pass on the inside through turn number 3 and 4. Heavy traffic back in the pack. 3 abreast as they come sweeping out of turn 4 and down the main straightaway. As they head out of that second turn, is Dale Buck still up in front. The 99 of Rodney Arndt is second. Joe Engelfinger is third and 15. Buck Catalano running fourth and 54. Mike Higo fifth in car number 56 to 25 of Landry Walker running in the sixth position. Into turn number 1 and 2. Dale Buck continues to lead the pack as they head for the back straightaway. 99 of Arndt holding the second spot with Engelfinger third and trying to move. Art Clark, a bad crash. Art Clark went broadside off the back straightaway and hit that big pile of implement tires hard and heavy in turn number 4. We've had a bad crash in turn number 3 involving car number 7 of Art Clark. The crash crews are on the way over there now. Looks like Clark is climbing out of the car under his own power. He's driving the car away. He's driving the car away, ladies and gentlemen, after hitting broadside into that pile of implement tires. Art Clark is going to try and get back out there and run the feature. And he gets back out in front of the leader, and he stays on the lead lap. So Art Clark stays on the lead lap. He'll go to the back of the pack for bringing out the caution. We're waiting to see. It looks like heavy damage, although possibly just body damage on there. We were trying to see on the wheel alignment and so on. He's going. They opened the pit gate for him. He waved him off. He's going on by. He's going to get in the back of the pack. It's going to be a double file restart, and we're going to resume racing action in 2 more laps. We thought we had just witnessed a devastating crash over there in turn 3. We had the 18 of Rich Pocabella go flying in there last year. Pocabella spent some sheet time in the hospital as a result of it. His car took it head on. Art scrubbed off enough speed that when he went into those tires, and the car was well constructed, that he's back out there in competition. So everything's cleared over there in turn number 3 and 4, including the fact that Art Clark is back out there with car number 7, albeit all the way at the back of the pack. So, since the race has not reached the half point, obviously, it will be a double file restart next time by. White flag shown to the field, indicating 1 lap to the restart. The flags were doubled up and crossed, as you saw when the leaders hit the line. That means a double file restart, and we're ready to go. And at this time, we want to wish a happy birthday to the driver of car number 61, Jeff Evans, who hits a big 3-0 today. Anybody need a 4-score ticket? The man's right down below the tower here. Just wave your hand or wave a picture of George Washington. He'll be happy to oblige you. The field gets together. Turn number 3 and 4. Dale Buck sets a pace along with Rodney Arndt. They come flying off that number 4 turn onto the main straightaway. The green flag is pile up main straightaway. The 99 of Arndt is upside down into turn number 1 and 2. Rights itself. He was on the fence all the way down through there, and the red light is on, and the red flag is out in some anxious moments up front for Rodney Arndt with car number 99. We thought that car was going over. He got it right up on the driver's door, and then it came back down under its own power, and the crash crew was up there checking on him now as things got really hectic here at the starting stripe when the green flag came out, and the Rodney Arndt car climbed the wall down the main straightaway and was going on its side all the way down through there, and rather than dropping to the inside and rolling over, it righted itself and is on all 4 wheels, and they're calling for a tow truck down there, and the indications are Rodney Arndt is okay. And of course, we've got the Trank Real Estate radio up here in the tower, and he called on the radio and says he's okay. And while that is taking place, look over in the pit area. Art Clark is in the pits, and they're working on his car. Car number... The white flag being shown to the front of the field as we prepare for the second restart of the Winston Racing Series late model pro stock division. And this certainly has been a frantic and wild affair tonight after the first collision involving Art Clark in number 7, and now the real bad crash involving the 99 of Rodney Arndt. The field ready to take the green as they come sweeping through turn number 3 and 4 onto the main straightaway. The green flag is out, and the late model feature is again underway, and Dale Buck is again in the lead. Buck up in front. Engelfinger takes the 15 car to the outside, trying to hold that second spot. Here comes Buck Catalano, car number 54. Catalano moving into second as they come through turn number 3 and 4. Out of that 4th turn, Catalano down on the inside. inside. Trying to get the lead away from Dale Buck as they go into turn number 1 and 2. The 15 of Engelfinger is in there. The 25 of Manley Vosberg is in there. And Catalano has taken the lead. And while they've got the 5 of Buck moved up, 25 Manley Vosberg gets by on the inside as they move Dale Buck up on the outside of the speedway. And the entire field comes by like it's a free ride on the merry-go-round as they head for turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, the 54 of Buck Catalano leads it. 25 of Manley Vosberg drifting wide. Mike Tico takes car 56 to the inside, trying to rescue second position away from Manley Vosberg in 25. Sparks come out from under the back end of the 5 car, driven by Dale Buck. Joe Engelfinger in the 4th spot, car number 15, and here comes Danny Mason in 04. Side by side for the 2nd spot through turn number 3 and 4. It's 56, Mike Tico on the inside. 25, Manley Vosberg up high. Vosberg smoking the tire, coming through the turn, gets a little bit sideways. The field climbs on the brakes. Turn number 2, and it's a bad one. Bad crash, turn number 2. Could see that one coming when the 25 of Vosberg lost the handle. He was smoking that right rear tire going through turns number 1 and 2 the last couple of times by. He lost the grip, the back end came out, the fender started slamming, and then they piled it up in the back end of the car. There's 98 of Larry Ovid off with a flat tire down in the inside of the track. The 45 of Chuck Hebing spun to avoid going in there any harder. That's Bobby Martin. Once again, the white flag is being shown to the front of the field as we prepare for still another restart in this late model Pro Stock feature division. And now we're at lap number 8, and it'll still be a double file restart. Buck Catalano is the leader, car 54. Mike Tico running second in 56. Manley Vosberg is third in 25. Joe Engelfinger running fourth with car number 15. They hit the restart line. Up there in turn number 4, the green flag comes out. The race safe lights go off, and we're back in the green flag racing conditions. Out of that second turn, Buck Catalano in the lead. Mike Tico is second. Manley Vosberg running third. Joe Engelfinger is fourth. Dave Heitzaus has moved into the 5th spot in car number 91 as he goes to the outside trying to pass Dale Buck with car number 5. There's the 48 of Rick Wiley moving in behind the 5 car of Buck. Behind Wiley comes Mike Vargo in car number 17, and inside of Vargo is the number 3 of Darrell Bobson. Up in the front of the pack, the 56 of Tico takes a look at the inside as they come off turn number 4. Takes Federer, puts it back in line, and pulls in behind the leader, number 54, Buck Catalano. Catalano still up in front with Mike Tico second. Manley Vosberg back in that 3rd position with car number 25, followed by Joe Engelfinger in 15, and the 91 of Dave Heitzaus. Dave Heitzaus with the Village Pub, car number 91, now running in the number 5 position, trying to close up as he goes to the outside, trying to pass the 15 of Engelfinger. Here comes Tico down on the inside, but once again pulls up into single file formation as they head down the main straightaway. Buck Catalano continues to lead it. Pile up, turn number 2. We've had a wreck in turn 2. Car number 65, George Gora, rear-ended the 17 of Vargo after he got stopped. The 5 of Buck was somewhat involved in it. The 17 was involved, and everybody else seems to be rolling away. But these guys are really wild tonight in this late model feature race. And we're looking, the 17 is being motioned to the back. I'm waiting to see Tim Bennett, our competition director down there, sending the 17 car to the back of the pack. On the lineup, cars involved in the caution get to start in the rear. Car number 98, Larry Ovid, has a body panel, possibly off another one of the race cars, caught underneath his car. Field being given the signal to double up. However, they have not been given the 1 to go signal. This field has been decimated. We started with 24 cars. We're now down to 12. Although now we're back up as Larry Ovid got that part removed from car number 98. He's back out there and remains on the lead lap. So all the cars are on the lead lap with the exception of Art Clark's number 7, who lost several laps making repairs in the pit area. Buck Catalano is your leader. Car number 54, the 17 of Vargo, is rolling slowly down pit road. He's going to try and get back out there. The 3 of Bobson is headed for trackside also. And since the 1 to go signal had not been displayed, the pit gate is open and these cars come out. They're going to give them the 1 to go the next time by, but the cars that can make it before the 1 to go signal are able to return and start at the rear. Car number 10, Mike Feeblecorn, rolling slowly down pit road, going to try to get back out there. field just given the 1 to go signal here at the starting stripe as the lights go off once again on the Corbo Olds pace car. One of the heaviest used things here tonight is that switch that turns the roof lights on and off on the Corbo Oldsmobile pace car. Buck Catalano and Mike Tico locked up in a battle between car 54 and 56 for the lead. They're followed by Manley Vosberg in car number 25 on the inside, and on the outside Joe Engelfinger in car number 15. The field once again starts to pick up the pace through turns number 3 and 4. The green flag appears. We're back in racing action, and Buck Catalano leads into turn number 1 and 2. As they head for the back straightaway, Dave Heitzhaus has gone to the inside with car number 91, and Heitzhaus is now running fourth. They get the Engelfinger 15 moved up into the outside groove, and Rick Wiley's trying to pass on the inside. When Wiley gets him moved up, here comes Gary Schwab in car number 86, also trying to advance through the traffic in turn number 2. As they head out of that second turn, down the back straightaway, Catalano leads it. Tico is second, Vosberg is third. The 91 of Heitzhaus is fourth, and the halfway signal is shown to the field. 15 laps have been completed, 15 laps to go. Buck Catalano still up in front. Mike Tico is second, and take a look at the action back there around the 6th position. Now we're going to get it tightened up front as Buck Catalano leads them down the main straightaway. Mike Tico still running second with Manley Vosberg third, and Dave Heitzhaus is going to work trying to get by these first 3 cars. Rick Wiley is now moved up to join them with car number 48 to make it a 5-car race for the lead as they come out of turn number 4. Down the main straightaway with the Tico 56 only inches off the back bumper of the Catalano 54. Then it's Manley Vosberg in 25, Heitzhaus in 91, and the 48 of Rick Wiley in a 5-car freight train into turn number 3 and 4. Gary Schwab back in the 6th position, car number 86, trying to move up on that front 5 cars as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Everybody kind of leery about pulling out a line as they single file down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4, and the 5-car of Buck is spun to the inside of the back straightaway. Meanwhile, a single file freight train down the main straightaway into turn number 1 and 2 with Buck Catalano still leading. Catalano still in front. Tico going high and low, trying to get by him. Tico can get under him in the turns, but then he's got to tuck it in behind him. This time Tico stayed low on the main straightaway, but the 54 of Catalano came back down in front of him. Catalano still leads it. Then it's Tico, then Vosberg, then Dave Heitzhaus, then Rick Wiley, then Gary Schwab, then Art Clark, and here comes Eldon King. They're all starting to bunch up in front in this battle for the lead with 9 laps to go. Into turn number 1 and 2. Again, Tico tries to come to the inside on the 54 of Catalano. Just quite can't get the job done. Manley Vosberg hates to get up there much closer because these guys could take each other on. He'd be caught up in it. Every time Tico goes to the inside, and then he gets right up close to the 54 car, and then he drifts up back on the outside. So he continues to run in that second spot. Rick Wiley says, that's enough of this. I'm going into the 4th spot, and let me take a run on the leaders. Buck Catalano trying to hold off the field behind him, featuring Mike Tico in 56 and Manley Vosberg in 25. Rick Wiley has gotten by the 91 of Dave Heitzhaus, and Wiley now is a 48 car up in the 4th spot. And again, this time Tico puts a chrome horn to the 54 of Catalano, reminding him that he's right back there. Catalano using up quite a bit of racetrack, and these other guys are trying to get by him as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. As they head for the stripe this time, the 5 to go signal is shown to the field. 25 laps completed, 5 laps to go. The battle for the lead features 4 cars. The 54 of Buck Catalano, the 56 of Mike Tico, the 25 of Manley Vosberg, and the 48 of Rick Wiley. Then it's Gary Schwab in 86, and Eldon King has come on up through the pack with car number 28. Eldon gained 2 positions in the last couple of laps. The 17 of Vargo pulls off the track. The 5 of Buck has gotten restarted and is back up on the track, and he's in front of the leaders who are going to get the 3 to go signal the next time by. Buck Catalano up in front. The 56 of Mike Tico back in the 2nd spot. 25, Manley Vosberg is 3rd. Again, Tico trying to find room to get around Catalano. Pile up turn number 2. Caution is out. There's a problem on the 91 of Heitzhaus as smoke and steam come pouring out of that car. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll lock down the scoreboard on lap number 28. The last 2 laps have got to be under the green flag, and they indicate there is some fire on the 91 of Dave Heitzhaus. Could be a hot break. But something went wrong on the 91 of Heitzhaus. Look at the smoke and steam and so on pouring out of that car. Dave did a 180 and backed it into the fence over there in turn 1 and 2. That brings out the caution flag on lap number 28, and we're going to lock that scoreboard in the 5th position. Rather 6th for Eldon King, and 7th is 15, Joe Engelfinger. followed by Jeff Evans in 61. Again, a happy birthday, number 30, to Jeff in car number 61. They come off that fourth turn. The green flag waves. The remaining 2 laps of the late model feature are underway. Into turn number 1 and 2. Buck Catalano in front. Mike Tico second. They're side by side for third between Manley Vosberg in 25 and Rick Wiley in 48. And then Art Clark comes up behind him, although he is 5 laps down to the leaders. As they come off that fourth turn and down the main straightaway, Wiley tries to pass on the inside of car number 25, Manley Vosberg. They're out of that second turn, down the back straightaway, into turn number 3 and 4. The lead car out of that fourth turn, onto the main straightaway. The white flag comes out for 54, Buck Catalano. 1 lap to go, one more time around. Buck Catalano up in front. Back in second, it's Mike Tico. Take a look at the battle for third between Manley Vosberg, Rick Wiley, Art Clark, and Gary Schwab. Out of that fourth turn, they head for the line. The winner, Buck Catalano. So it's 2 for 2 this weekend for Buck Catalano. He won last night at Spencer, and he won tonight at Holland International Speedway. So it's Buck Catalano home in front, Mike Tico finishing second, Manley Vosberg in a good third position finish, and finishing fourth, car number 48 of Rick Wiley. Rick Wiley, our current points leader at Holland International Speedway, finishing in fourth position. Well, there goes Andy Rusto, our junior starter, headed trackside for the presentation of the checkered flag. Here comes the winner of the late model feature to pick up that checkered flag. Let's welcome him to victory lane with a good round of applause for the driver of car 54, Buck Catalano. Coors Extra Gold, the sponsor on car number 54 of Buck Catalano. Well, if you folks look over the lineup chute, you can see a lot of frantic activity over there as the Busch Grand National North pit crews have taken their toolboxes and tool wagons and so on over there into the lineup area, and that will be where the cars can pit. They do have sufficient fuel aboard to go the 150 laps on this 3/8 mile track. Okay, we've just confirmed that they do have sufficient fuel to go without a fuel stop. Tires could be the story, so pit stops will only be made if they need a tire change or to make some kind of unpredictable repairs, because they do have enough fuel to go the distance. Here is the winner of our feature race. He's back in victory lane. Let's bring him back with another good round of applause for Buck Catalano. And as Buck climbs out of the car, we've got Kenny Hangauer down there to greet him. We've got representatives from Triad Distributorship. Gordy Hessel himself, the president of the firm, is going down there. He's our local Busch distributor at Triad Distributing. And also Rich Andal from General Welding up in East Aurora, our Fisher snowplow dealer for the area, will be down there to present a jacket to the feature winner. Also, we'll be doing the 50-50 drawing from trackside. We'll have Buck Catalano draw out the winning ticket on that. We're going to have a brief intermission while these ceremonies go on down in Victory Lane, and it's going to be very brief, ladies and gentlemen, they tell me, because we're going to do driver introductions. And there's Buck Catalano out of the car. His brother Dave won last week. Buck has won 2 in a row at Spencer on Friday nights, and now he's picked up a checkered flag here at Holland International Speedway. And in Victory Lane, Ken Hangauer has the story.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry Dye. Hey, Buck, how about that Catalano family? I thought we had a rule in the rule book, 1 from each family per year for a feature. Dave, last week he got wrecked, but Buck, you've been a super weekend so far. 1 at Spencer, 1 tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my little brother put the pressure on me. He told me last week he started 5th and won. He said, I expect you to do the same thing, so it worked out good for us. Mike Tico really put the pressure on us there for a while, and I was just happy to hang on.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike Tico, he's certainly not a driver that you haven't run with for many, many years in the Superstock class. I think that was an excellent finish. Was Tico ever really that close to you? It looked like that you had him really cover the blanket tonight.
I tell you, this Coors Extra Gold car, Wilbur Buick GM parts car, it really worked good tonight. Any place we wanted to put it, she just took it and stayed right there.
Buck, a lot of rubber put down with the Busch Grand National North machines. Did that make the setup on your car, the handling, any different than on a normal Saturday night?
I tell you, it really slowed the track down a bunch tonight. We most of the guys like Art and those guys can usually come out here and run 14.7s, and they were a little bit off tonight. And we were a little bit better tonight. We're in the 15.0s and 14.9s, and we haven't been that fast all year yet. You know, I got to hand it to my crew, Terry Sleety, Butch, Zuan, all the guys over there. They did a super job. I'd like to thank my wife and kids. They give me all the support in the world that I need. My friend Randy Scott has loaned me fire suits throughout the years, and you know, all these guys, they're great.
Well, Buck, we're going to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the sponsors. I guess you've covered just about everybody down here. Buck, your final thoughts on tonight's race?
I'll tell you, we worked hard. We've been struggling all year. Hopefully this broke the jinx and we can have a better season from here.
Which order the top 6 drivers are going to be starting out? We have our top 6 by time trial times: Ricky Craven, Joey Carafas, Dick McCabe, Kelly Moore, Billy Clark, and Jamie Obie. They're going to be selecting cans of Busch beer, and that will determine their starting position for this 150-lap event this evening. The first driver up, setting fast time for the evening, Ricky Craven, the driver of car number 25. Ricky didn't like that one. Let's see what he has here. Believe it or not, folks, number 1 for Ricky Craven. Next up will be the driver of car number 01, Joey Carafas, who set a second fast time tonight, 14.707 seconds. And Joey picks up number 4, outside second row for Joey Carafas. Next up, the driver of car number 0, it's the Irish Angel, Dick McCabe from Kennebunkport, Maine. A time of 14.710 seconds, and Mr. McCabe picks up number 3. Number 3 for the third fastest time tonight. Next up, Kelly Moore, the driver of car number 47. Kelly ambles forward, and he picks up number 5 for Kelly Moore, inside of row number 3. Next to select the starting position, the driver of car number 7, it's Maine's Billy Clark. The driver of the Skull Bandit, number 7, he aggressively moves forward, and he picks up number 2 for Billy Clark, outside front row. And that leaves Jamie Obie, the driver of car number 41. And what's left? Number 6 for Jamie Obie in car number 41.
Pull that up. Put it up behind the...
Okay. We're going to start from back and work up to the front.
Just take the driver's and shake starter's hand and the crowd can figure out who's going to take over.
I'll drive. How's that? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you the starting lineup this evening for the Busch 150, starting from the back and working our way up to the front. Driving car number 5 at the rear of the field in the Motion Racing Buick number 5 from Colchester, Vermont, it's Barney McRae. Next up, our old friend driving car number 66 from Port Colborne, Ontario, welcome Dean Ferry. In the Gillies Truck Caps Pontiac number 39 from East Holden, Maine, it's Lloyd Gilly. And the Emser Vans, Manco Racing, number 94, our own Steve Hoddick.
There you go, Ron.
At the keyboards of the Perry's Ice Cream, Previty's Auto Wrecking Buick, number 89, please welcome Gary Schwab. Driving car number 11, the Renault Machine and Two Oldsmobile from Stone, Massachusetts, it's Bob Healy. And the RSD Leasing Buick, car number 75 from Lebanon, New Hampshire, Peter Daniels. Piloting the Berry Associates Oldsmobile, number 22, hailing from Norwich, Connecticut, it's Jeff Berry. The veteran driver of the Patton's Gas, Fadden Automotive Buick, number 16 from North Haverhill, New Hampshire, Stub Fadden. And the AG&D Motor Oils, Big A Pontiac, number 06 from Claremont, New Hampshire, welcome Rick Miller. And the SKF Bearings Oldsmobile, number 1 from Northampton, Pennsylvania. You recognize him from his years in a modified. It's Tony Hirschman. And the Brunel Asphalt Pontiac, number 17 from Peru, New York, Bob Brunel. Driving the Country Gas Fadden Automotive Buick number 61 from North Haverhill, New Hampshire, Mike Olson. Driver of the EJP Pontiac number 09, a former winner of Busch North event here at Holland Speedway from Center Conway, New Hampshire, welcome Dale Shaw. For you Ford fans, this one's for you. In the Continental Paving Ford, number 29 from Hudson, New Hampshire, it's Dave Dion. The driver of the Dick Traynor Trucking Pontiac, number 36 from Niantic, Connecticut, Bobby Gaeta. Piloting the Orchard Park Ready Mix, number 57 from Colden, welcome Tim Bender. Driving the Casco Bay Yacht Exchange Buick number 12 from Freeport, Maine, Dave Davis. Driver of the O'Connor GMC Buick Fisher Engineering Pontiac number 15 from Turner, Maine, Mike Rowe. Behind the wheel of the Lamel Lumber McIntyre Fuels Buick number 98 from Essex Junction, Vermont, Ronnie Lamel. Now we're moving up to the top 6, the first 3 rows. The driver of car number 41, the Citgo number 41, out of North Ferrisburg, Vermont, Jamie Obie. On the inside of row number 3, he's up in the front right now in the Bassetti Insurance Agency number 01 from Randolph, Massachusetts, it's Joey Karafis. Starting on the inside of, or the outside of row number 2, the 4th starting position in the Jordan Lumber number 47 from Scarborough, Massachusetts, Kelly Moore. Okay. On the inside of row number 2, the 3rd starting position in the McCabe Bait Company number 0, the Irish Angel, the 2nd most popular person out of Kennebunkport, Maine, Dick McCabe. The outside of row number 1, the 2nd starting position, and the Skoal Bandit number 7 from Farmington, Maine, it's Billy Clark. And starting on the pole position, he set fast time earlier this evening in the Speedy Oil Change number 25 from Pembroke, New Hampshire, Ricky Craven.
Now is the time we've been waiting for all evening with this Busch Grand National North 150. I will say to the drivers, gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, you know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Say it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Say it better, yeah. Come on now. Say that you love me. Say that you need me. Say that you want me. You want to please me. Come on now. Come on now.
Well, and our thanks go out to Gordon Hessel, the Grand Marshal of this evening's race, for those always exciting words to fire the engines. A great job done trackside by Kenny Hangauer, and a special thanks to Rick Mooney for the driver introductions for the starting lineup. You heard those introductions, ladies and gentlemen, and the field is now rolled off. the top 6 cars falling into their designated starting positions obtained by the luck of the draw of the Busch cans down on the starting line. The field in formation as they head through turns number 3 and 4 behind the Corbeau Oldsmobile pace car. The signal off the flag stand is, I believe, 3 warm-up laps. 3 warm-up laps are given to the cars. It's been a long time since they've been out here as we went through our regular Holland International Speedway program. The cars in formation as they pass in review down the main straightaway. Now up in front of you fans in turn number 1 and 2 is the next time by, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all get off those caps. Let's all wave the hats, wave the seat cushions, wave your handkerchiefs. Always an exciting moment in automobile racing as we prepare for the start of this 150-lap Busch Grand National Tour. Here comes the field into turn number 3 and 4. Ricky Craven and Billy Clark up in front. Get out those caps, get out those hankies, get out those seat cushions. Let's all give them a big wave on the way by and send them on their way as we get ready for the Busch Grand National 150-lap feature. The field on the main straightaway, moving up into turn number 1 and 2. 2 to go till the green flag waves and they accelerate off turn number 3 and 4. The pit crew is at the ready over in the lineup chute, hoping that they will not have to be utilized tonight. They do have sufficient fuel on board to carry them for the full 150-lap distance in this event. Drivers swerving those cars back and forth to wipe little chunks of Speedy Dry and rubber gum balls previously deposited on the Speedway from the preceding races, trying to get them brushed off their tires as they prepare for that charge into turn number 1 and 2, which should take place the next time around as Dale Easterly gives them the white flag. As the Corbeau Olds pace car hits the line, the lights go off. Ricky Craven and Billy Clark, the Irish Angels, Dickie McCabe, Joey Carafas, Kelly Moore, bring the field down as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Back in the pack, the rest of the cars tighten up that formation as they move closer and closer behind the front row of cars as they move onto the back straightaway. Everybody is ready. The hearts beat faster. It gets a little dry in your throat. You feel that kind of excitement feeling in the pit of your stomach when you're behind the wheel of one of these race cars as you now head into turn number 3 and 4. The Corbeau pace car makes the big left turn into the pit area. The field under the command of Dale Easterly, who gives them the green flag, and the Busch 150 Grand National Tour is underway. As they head into turn number 1 and 2, Craven loses to Biden. Car number 7 has taken the lead. Billy Clark has taken the lead with car number 7 as he brings the field out of the 4th turn. Ricky Craven back in second. McCabe runs third as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Up on the outside, the 0-1 of Joey Carafas, really flying on the outside of the Speedway as he pulls alongside of Kelly Moore. They're right up behind the 0 of Dickie McCabe as they come down the main straightaway. Car number 7 continues to lead it. Billy Clark up in front, but look at Carafas in car number 0-1. Joey Carafas has moved the 0-1 into the 3rd position. Billy Clark the leader, Ricky Craven in second. Joey Carafas has moved up to 3rd. Dick McCabe back in the 4th spot. Jamie Albee running 4th in car number 41, followed by Kelly Moore, car number 47, and Ron Lamel with car number 98. Following him is the 15 of Mike Rowe. The battle now shaping up for position number 2 between Ricky Craven and Joey Carafas as they come off the banking in turn number 4. Billy Clark up in front. Clark is your leader, but the battle is for second. It's now Ricky Craven and then Joey Carafas. They were getting ready to set up for a second place battle, but they've now closed up on the leader. Billy Clark, car number 7, the Skoal Bandit car, trying to hold that lead, but take a look at Ricky Craven going to the outside, trying to get around Billy Clark's car. Carafas ready to move up at a second's notice as they head into number 3 and 4 turn. A 3-car battle for the lead as they head for the main straightaway. Here comes Ricky Craven to the outside as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Billy Clark on the inside, Ricky Craven on the outside. Clark pulls Craven as they head into turn number 3, but Craven won't back out of it as they come into turn number 3 and 4. Side by side out of 4, and Ricky Craven reestablishes the lead as they head over the start-finish line. Ricky Craven, apparently the tires starting to come in on that car as Craven takes over the lead. Clark back in the 2nd spot. Carafas is 3rd. McCabe is your 4th place car. Jamie Albee running 5th with car number 41. Way back in the pack, the car number 1 of Tony Hirschman is looking for room to get up through. Hirschman familiar with this track as he won the modified tour here last summer. So Hirschman in car number 1 working traffic on the inside as he comes out of that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. And he's locked up in a battle at that time with the car number 75 of Pete Daniels. As we go back up in front, we see that the Irish Angel, Dickie McCabe, car 0, has started to move up on the 0-1 of Carafas. And he's brought Jamie Albee and Kelly Moore and Ron Lamel with him as a single car that trained through turn number 3 and 4. Then behind that fast-moving group, we got number 15. The driver on that one is Mike Rowe. And right up behind Rowe comes car number 12 of Dave Davis out of Freeport, Maine. He's followed by car number 36, driven by Bobby Gaeta. And right behind Gaeta comes the only Ford in the race, and that's driven by Dynamite Dave Dion. That's car number 29. And Hirschman is starting to move up on that group with car number 1. Meanwhile, up in front, the leaders are starting to close up on lap traffic as the blue and orange passing flag comes out. After only 14 laps, you can tell that the leaders are setting a fast pace here as they're working lap traffic at the completion of lap number 14. So 10% of the race is now over as we hit lap number 15, and already the front of the pack cars are starting to work lap traffic. Craven still leads, Clark runs 2nd, Carafas is 3rd, McCabe is 4th, Albee runs 5th as they come off that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. Dean Ferry's car not up to full song this evening, so Ferry is being motioned to the inside of the speedway to bring the leaders on around him. Timmy Bender running a good race with car number 57 as he brings that pack of cars that he's involved with out of turn 2 and onto the back straightaway. Bender in front of a fast-moving pack of cars, the 09 of Dale Shaw, previous winner here at Holland Speedway about 3 years ago, closing up on him as they go into turn number 1 and 2. And also the number 61 car of Mike Olson is involved in that battle. Now moving in is Bobby Brunell in car number 17. Following Brunell through is car number 16 of Stub Fadden, and behind him is Tony Hirschman with car number 1. Meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, Ricky Craven continues to show the way. Craven in command as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Billy Clark back in the 2nd spot. Carafas is 3rd, locked up in a battle with McCabe in the 0 car, and Jamie Albee in car number 41 comes up to join them as they come off that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. A big pack of cars in front of the leaders as they come off that 2nd turn and move into the back straightaway. Got a car get wide down there in the turn. Car number 94 got up high through turn 3 and 4. That's Steve Hoddick from Cheektowaga. Got high in turn 4, but he made a good recovery, and it didn't even cost him a position, but it gave an anxious spin turn 4. The 57 of Bender is spun in the turn. Craven's car gets creamed down. No, it's a 75 car that looks like Craven's got creamed in that crash. We've had a bad crash down in turn number 4. The leaders are getting through it okay, but the caution flag is out. But the 57 car of Timmy Bender spun down there in the turn, and some other cars got involved. Heavy damage on the 75 car of Peter Daniels. I mistakenly called that the 25 of Craven. Those two cars look very similar, and of course 75 and 25. But the 75 moving away under his own power. Heavy front end damage on car number 17, the Bob Brunell car, as we're sending a tow truck back to pick that up. Bender's number 57 is over on the exit road to head for pit road. We've got 3 cars that are stopped over there waiting for traffic to clear on the back straightaway and get ready to get over into the pits to make some repairs. Heavy smoke coming off the back of car number 11, it looked like, although there is some speedy dry up there in turn 2. No, it's smoke on car 11. The 11 car, Bob Healy out of Stoughton, Mass., the driver of the Renault Machine and Tool Oldsmobile, showing smoke out of the back end of car number 11. We see the right front corner is pushed back toward the tire. That could have been tire smoke coming off of that, but there was smoke coming out from under car 11 when it came through the turns. And the field has been slowed behind the Corbeau Oldsmobile pace car as the Porsley Auto Wrecking crew swings into action down there on Bobby Brunell's car number 17, the Brunell Asphalt Pontiac out of Peru, New York. Just got the signal on the scanner. It'll be 1 to go when they hit the line. They got the 2 to go signal the last time by. It'll be the 1 to go when they hit the line. So the lights will go off on the pace car. The white flag will be shown to the field, and we should resume racing on lap number 29, it should be. We're showing 27 on the scoreboard right now. They'll complete 28 when they get to the stripe and see the white flag, and will resume racing, and when they hit the stripe, it'll be completing lap 29. Doubling up on the restart with Ricky Craven down on the inside in 25, Billy Clark on the outside in 7, Joey Karafis in the 0-1 runs third. The 0 car, the Irish Angel of Dick McCabe, the second most famous citizen of Kennebunkport, Maine, sponsored by his own McCabe Bait Company, running in the 4th position with the green car 0. Running 5th is Jamie Aubie, car number 41. Kelly Moore running 6th, car number 47, followed by Ron Lamel in car number 98. The 66 car of Dean Ferry is a lap car. Mike Rowe running in the next spot, car number 15. Picking up the pace as they head into turn number 3 and 4. That green flag is out. Racing resumes, and Ricky Craven reestablishes himself in the lead with car 25. This time Billy Clark tucks it right in behind the Craven car. Joey Karafis down on the inside with car number 01, piles into Clark down in 3 and 4. A fantastic recovery by Billy Clark as the 01 of Joey Karafis got by him. Karafis got by the Clark number 7 with a bulldozer down there in turn number 3 and 4. And while that was going on, the 90 pile up turn number 3. We got a car backed into the rail, and 3 more cars go low on the track and go piling in, and we've got a bad wreck in turn number 3 and 4. Triggered when the 36 car went backing into the outside wall. Bobby Gaeta backed into the wall. Dean Ferry was rolling slow down around the inside. Heavy damage on the front end of car number 09 of Dale Shaw. Tough luck for Dale Shaw, who won this race here at 3. The white flag comes off the flag stand, indicating 1 lap to go next time around, and you take a look at way at the back of the pack. Car number 01 that was running in the 3rd and 2nd positions is now at the tail end, although he is on the lead lap. 2 pit stops by Joey Karafis, car number 01. He got in and out without losing any laps, but he loses track position and now starts at the end of the line. Meanwhile, a double up for the restart. Ricky Craven still is the leader. The 41 of Jamie Aubie running 2nd. Ron Lamel is 3rd. Car number 98, Billy Clark running 4th in 7. Car number 47 of Kelly Moore running 5th. And the 0 car of Dick McCabe is your 6th place car. The green flag waves and the restart is underway. Craven leads it as they head down the back straightaway. Aubie runs 2nd. Lamel is 3rd. Clark is 4th. McCabe 5th. McCabe looking to get down to the inside, trying to get by the 7 car of Billy Clark, the Skull Bandit. Single file through the first 9 positions as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Rick Craven the leader, but Jamie Aubie takes the Citgo machine down to the inside, looking for room to make a pass for the lead on Craven. And while Aubie and Craven work each other over the lead, take a look at car number 98, Ron Lamel. Lamel is on the march in car number 98, trying to get around car number 41 of Jamie Aubie. So the first 6 cars settle in a single file order as they head down the back straightaway and into turn number 3 and 4, but they're not content to stay in that order, and passing is of the order as they head past the stands and into turn number 1 and 2. Craven still in front. Aubie runs 2nd. Lamel is 3rd. Clark is 4th. Taking a look at Karafis in the back of the pack. So far he's only been able to get around 2 cars. So Karafis has a lot of racetrack, just about a half a lap of it, in fact, to get back up there with the lead pack, as he's trapped in heavy traffic way at the back of the pack, where he's been placed as a result of 2 pit stops while we're under caution. Meanwhile, up in front, Ricky Craven continues to lead it, with Jamie Aubie holding off the challenge of the 98 of Ron Lamel as they head down the main straightaway. Billy Clark settles into that 4th position, car number 7, as traffic gets heavy as they come through turn number 3 and 4. We've got Gary Schwab running in that tight pack group with car number 89, along with Tim Bender in 57, and also car number 36 is in that group. That's Bobby Gaeta. And now Joey Karafis has moved into that group in his ever-increasing march to the front of the field. The first 3 cars have now tightened up as they head through turn number 3 and 4. The leader, Ricky Craven, the 41 of Aubie, is 2nd. The 3rd place car of Ron Lamel, number 98. Billy Clark then the 0 of Dick McCabe, then the 47 of Kelly Moore. Dave Dion is trying to get that Ford number 29 to the inside of the 15 car. Driven by Mike Rowe as they come off that fourth turn and head down the main straightaway, and Dion brings the Ford fans to their feet as he takes his car to the inside and tries to move up a position, but Rowe holds him off, and Dynamite Dave settles back in right in front of Stubbs Fadden in car number 16. But another car that is starting to move through traffic in a hurry is Tony Hirschman in car number 1. Craven the leader as they come off the fourth turn, but this time Lamel gets the inside run on the 41 car of Aubie as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Lamel made a move to get around Aubie when they came by the flag stand that last time by, and I do believe that the 98 of Ron Lamel is setting up for an inside pass on Jamie Aubie, but what he could be doing is setting up Aubie to protect the inside and then watch Lamel take that 98 car up on the outside and set sail around him. Behind them, Dick McCabe in car 0 is locked up in a battle with the Kelly Moore car number 47 as they head down the back straightaway with only inches separating the front and rear bumpers on those cars as Moore goes to the inside trying to pass McCabe here on the main straightaway, but McCabe holds him off as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Ricky Craven working lap traffic with car number 25 into turn number 3 and 4. The 41 of Aubie and the 98 of Lamel in tight order as they come past the stands and head for turn number 1 and 2. Heavy traffic in front of the lead car as he heads into turn number 3 and 4. Craven forced to go way up to the outside to pass car number 5 of Barney McCrae. McCrae not running well at all tonight, and he drops down to the inside of the track with car number 5 and waves the front of the pack on around him, and it's Jamie Aubie following through in second place, Ron Lamel third, and Billy Clark took advantage of that situation to close up behind the second and third place cars from his previous position back and forth about 4 car lengths back. But right now, Clark is less than a car length behind the 98 rear bumper on Ron Lamel's Buick. Once again, Lamel sets up on the inside of the 41 of Aubie. Almost got by him that time through turn number 1 and 2. They're getting ready to move up on the number 89 of Gary Schwab. Schwab drops way low to the inside to let this pack by him as they head down the main straightaway and into turn number 1 and 2. Craven in front, Aubie is second. Here comes Lamel down on the inside. And this time Aubie went high as they went down the back straightaway. Lamel tried to get him on the inside, he couldn't, and closes right in behind him through turn number 3 and 4. The best battle on the racetrack is for that second spot between Jamie Aubie and Ron Lamel. Here comes Lamel down on the inside as they come through turn number 3 and 4. This time the 98 of Lamel holds that position into turn number 1 and 2. Lamel low, Aubie up high, and Ron Lamel has moved up one spot. And now that they've got the 41 of Aubie moved up there, Billy Clark says, looks like a good place to pass. Clark goes to the inside with car number 7 and tries to move up, and Billy Clark gets around Jamie Aubie. And in one lap, Jamie Aubie has gone from second back to fourth. And now Kelly Moore in car number 47 puts his sights on the Aubie sit-go 41, and he says, boy, maybe I can get by on the inside and gain one position also. However, while that was going on, Ricky Craven had cleared lap traffic for the moment, and Craven has now established a pretty good lead over the rest of the field as they head through 3 and 4, but that lead is about to evaporate as we've got lap cars. Trouble, turn 1 and 2. Oh, the 06 car dove low to avoid lap traffic, came through the grass, up onto the racetrack, almost in front of Ricky Craven. What a close one up there. Did you see that one, Rick Mooney? Fantastic. Ricky Craven barely avoided disaster up there in turn number 1 and 2. We've got the caution flag out. It's lap 66. We still haven't reached the halfway point. It's going to be a double file restart, and exciting racing is going to continue just as soon as we get things cleared down in the turn. The 06 car, Rick Miller, moved to the inside. The lap flag came out. The black and orange passing flag came out. The 06 car made an abrupt turn to the left. Could be he overturned it, going to the left, got off the track down in the infield. Once he got in that grass down there, he was grabbing for all the brakes, and there was no stopping. That car was headed rapidly toward turn number 1. We thought it was going to have a terrible crash up there with our leader, Ricky Craven. Somehow disaster was avoided. No crash up there. The front of the field continues, and we've got a wrecker up there to work on the 06 machine. The white flag again being displayed on the flag stand as we prepare for the restart in this Busch Grand National North 150. 71 laps now on the scoreboard. The green flag will come down as they complete and come by and complete lap number 72. Car 61 has just pulled off into the infield. Mike Olson out of North Haverhill, New Hampshire. The Country Gas Fadden Auto 88 Buick pulling out. He is the grandson of Stub Fadden, the driver of car number 16. He was one of the cars on the lead lap, so that drops us back to 11 cars on the lead lap. Ricky Craven bringing the field down for the start with Ron Lamell and Billy Clark right behind him as the green flag waves, and we're back underway. Craven the leader. Lamell runs second. Clark is third. Aubie is fourth. And look at the traffic behind Jamie Aubie in car number 41. Here comes Dick McCabe down on the inside, car 0. There's problems on the 41 car. The handling has gone away on car number 41. Aubie is slowed. He's going up to the outside to let the rest of the pack by. It's a tough break for Jamie Aubie, car number 41. He's going to want to get off and get in the infield and try to get over onto pit road as soon as we catch a caution. But Aubie dropping back in a hurry with car number 41. A whole host of cars has now gone by Jamie Aubie's car number 41 as the halfway signal being shown on the flag stand. The halfway signal shown from the flag stand, 75 laps completed, 75 to go. Ricky Craven is the leader. Ron Lamell running second. Billy Clark is third with car number 7. Aubie got off the track down into the infield. He's now back up in racing action, and he spins it off turn number 2. All kinds of problems on Jamie Aubie's car number 41. And the engine has failed in that car. He's trying to get restarted, but by where he was positioned over there on the racetrack, that has brought out a caution. And the number 1 of Hirschman almost piles into Dave Dion as Dion jumped the brakes to avoid Jamie Aubie, and Aubie was hustling, trying to get that car restarted and refired. He's coming on around. The gates are open to allow cars to clear and get over onto pit road, and we believe Aubie is going to try to take advantage of this caution to hit pit road, although that time he did not cut across the track. Flat tire right rear on car number 41, Jamie Aubie's car. A flat right rear tire on car number 41 of Jamie Aubie. We saw him having handling problem. Could be that tire was going down because that car, when it came off turn 4, just wasn't with the program. The rest of the field able to get by him on the inside. Aubie, I can't understand why he keeps circling other than to stay established and get scored for those laps. There's Dynamite Dave Dion, car number 29. He's headed for the infield. He's going to try and get on pit road, and here comes Aubie over there. Of course, another reason to stay out there is enable Aubie's crew to notice that he had that flat right tire and have everything set up for him when he goes racing over there. Strategy, a very important part of this racing business, as the 41 of Jamie Aubie is headed for pit road. And they're going to go to work on Jamie Aubie's car number 41 as the rest of the field continues under caution, and track cleanup is underway at the completion of 78 laps. So once again, we're preparing for a restart on the Busch Grand National North 150. 80 laps have now been completed in this event. The lights have been turned off on the pace car. Ricky Craven and Ron Lamell up on the front of the pack as they lead the pack down the back straightaway. They got Billy Clark and Dick McCabe right tight behind him. Running in the 5th position is now Mike Rowe with car number 15. Stub Fadden up on the outside in car number 16. The 47 of Kelly Moore is in there. And look where Tony Hirschman is in car number 1 as we prepare for the restart, and that green flag is out. On the drag race into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Lamell up on the outside of Craven. Down the back straightaway. Craven on the inside. Ron Lamell on the outside. Fender to fender off of turn 4 and give the lead to Craven. But Lamell won't give up. Lamell refuses to lift as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Fighting for control and forced to drop back into the second spot as Ricky Craven held off Ron Lamell. And while these guys were locked up in that battle, Billy Clark got right back up there with him. Leads it as they head for the back straightaway. Lamell runs second in 98. Clark holds third. The 0 car of Dick McCabe back in the 4th spot. Running 5th, it's the 16 of Stub Fadden, followed by Mike Rowe, and then the 47 of Kelly Moore. Hirschman has now moved through the pack, and they have red and white, car number 1. And Hirschman has cleared traffic and is getting ready to move up into the top 8 cars. Dropped off the pace just ever so slightly, but look at the battle behind him. Here comes Stub Fadden on the outside of Dick McCabe. Fadden up high, McCabe down low as they come off that 4th turn and down the main straightaway. And Stub Fadden moves around McCabe to move into the 4th spot as they head down the back straightaway. That drops McCabe back to the 5th spot, followed by Mike Rowe, car number 15, Kelly Moore in 47. Unofficial, of course, because we only had 11 cars on the lead lap. They're followed by Tony Hirschman with car number 1. In the meantime, Jamie Aubie's trying to get back up through the pack with car number 41, as is Joey Karafis in car number 01. Now, the McCabe 41 is a lap down to the leaders, but Karafis is on the lap with the leaders. As many laps completed by the 01 car as the front of the field, and Joey Karafis is now moving up trying to pass Tim Bender. Bender is at least a lap down to the lead pack, and here comes the 01 to move up behind Timmy Bender. He'll try to get by him and then move up and hook up with Tony Hirschman with car number 1 and try to move up through traffic. The front 2 cars heading out of that 4th turn involves Ricky Craven, car number 25, Ron Lamell, car number 98, only inches off his back bumpers. They head down the back straightaway. Billy Clark running 3rd in the Skull Bandit, car number 7. Stub Fadden up in the 4th spot with car number 16. The 0 car of Dick McCabe is 5th. Mike Rowe is 6th in car number 15, followed by Kelly Moore in 47. Tony Hirschman in car number 8, and the 01 of Joey Karafis. Lamell really getting the job done, working on Ricky Craven, Speedy, car number 25. Aptly named, it's the Speedy Oil Change 91 Chevrolet of Ricky Craven up in front. Ron Lamell in the Lamell Lumber Corporation Buick is right tight behind the leader, Ricky Craven, as they head past the stands and into turn number 1 and 2. About 3 more laps, and these leaders are going to be in lap traffic, and that could make a difference in the passing situation, as they don't have quite as much racetrack to be using to run their favorite groove, and your leaders are closing up on lap cars as they head for turn number 3 and 4. Lamell takes a look at that, and he's getting his strategy set for when Craven catches up with the lap traffic. Spin, turn number 4. Timmy Bender has spun down to the inside of the track. Car number 57, we saw him starting to get loose up there in the turn. He's still rolling under his own power and continues off into the infield and will be moving back up onto the racing surface. They're holding him down low, but the rest of the field gets by and there's no caution. Tim Bender regains control with car number 57 as here comes the leaders in lap traffic coming out of turn 4. The move over flag being posted to the front of the field, but Ricky Craven and Ron Lamell have caught up with lap traffic, but those cars very wisely and sportsmanlike get to the inside, and the front 2 cars have now cleared that lap traffic, and Billy Clark is dropping back even farther with car number 7 as the 101 lap mark goes up on the scoreboard. Craven leads it with Lamell second into turn number 3 and 4. Clark is still behind the lap traffic, and while Clark is looking over lap traffic, Stub Fadden is starting to move up behind him with car number 16. Behind Fadden comes Dick McCabe, the Irish Angel, car 0. Behind him is Mike Rowe, car 15. And immediately behind the 15 of Rowe is the 47 of Kelly Moore. Billy Clark starting to work lap traffic this time by as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Lap traffic dropping to the inside. Clark has got by all but one of those cars. Stub Fadden now coming on around them. And while they're down there, here comes McCabe in the 0, Rowe in the 15, and Moore in the 47. And then several cars back from him is Tony Hirschman in 1 and the 01 of Joey Karafis. The lead pack has now cleared traffic, and the action resumes between the car number 25 of Ricky Craven and the 98 of Ron Lamell. Craven in a Chevy, LaMelle in a Buick, as they duke it out for the lead as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Good battle back there around the 0 of McCabe and the 15 of Rowe and the 47 of Moore. They're all locked up in that battle for the 4th position. Rather, that should be 5th, although could be Fadden as a lap down. Looking at the scoreboard, they're working the McCabe 0 as your 4th place car. Ricky Craven continues to lead the way with car number 25. Ron LaMelle not giving up, giving him everything he's got as the 41 of Aubie is trying to get back up through traffic, almost involved in a collision down on turn number 3 and 4. Pretty good distance now back from the first 2 cars to Billy Clark's car number 7, then from him back to the 0 of Dick McCabe and the 47 of Kelly Moore. And apparently the Stub Fadden number 16 is a lap down according to the scoreboard. And of course we will recheck all the scoring on this. The way we call it is naturally unofficial. Good battle for the 4th spot as they come out of that 4th turn. Kelly Moore has gone to the inside on Dick McCabe's car 0 as they head into turn number 1 and 2. 47 down on the inside. Kelly Moore, the 0, McCabe on the outside as they're side by side through turn number 3 and 4, although they have now put the 16 of Fadden back up in the 4th position on the scoreboard. Once again, the leaders work lap traffic through turn number 3 and 4. Both cars going up on the outside of the Speedway as the chief starter gets out that blue and orange passing flag, motioning those lap cars to the inside of the Speedway. Mike Rowe with car number 15 has now got by Kelly Moore to move unofficially into the 5th position. We're showing Stub Fadden is 4th. That's going to make Mike Rowe 5th in car number 15. Then the 6th place car will be the 47 of Kelly Moore. Behind him will be the 0 of Dick McCabe. He's followed by the 1 of Tony Hirschman and the 0-1 of Joey Carafas. And then they drop right back to the leader. And of course, the 41 car of Jamie Aubie did lose a lap after that spin over in turn number 1. Car number 41 of Aubie is flying, although he is a lap down. He's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack as he works up through traffic. He's trying to get in a position where he can try to repass the leaders and get back on the lead lap and then hope for a caution. But we've now completed 118 laps out of the 150 that are scheduled. Down the back straightaway, the battle for position between the 47 of Kelly Moore and the 15 of Mike Rowe. Moore on the inside, Rowe on the outside in that battle for the 5th spot. Kelly Moore down low and Mike Rowe up high. They're fender to fender down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Off that 4th turn, Moore down low. The 15 car up high, Mike Rowe the driver as they go into turn number 1 and 2. And while they're doing that battle, here comes Dick McCabe in car 0 to move up to join him to make it a 3-car battle for 5th. Moore holding that inside route, Rowe on the outside as they head dead even down the main straightaway and set up for turn number 1 and 2. The leader, number 25, Ricky Craven, has now got a lap car. The Joey Carafas machine has just been put a lap down as Ricky Craven went by him. He was in between Craven and the 98 car of Ron LaMelle. LaMelle has now gotten around Carafas. LaMelle still running in the 2nd spot. Carafas has gone a lap down to the leaders. Billy Clark still holding 3rd rather, in the Skull Bandit number 7. Stub Fadden back in the 4th spot with car number 16, while the battle rages on for the 5th spot between Kelly Moore down on the inside and car number 47. Mike Rowe on the outside, and this time Moore cleared as they came down the main straightaway. And now the 41 of Jamie Aubie, who is a lap down, is right in front of the leaders. Jamie Aubie right in front of number 25 of Ricky Craven as they go into turn number 3 and 4. Craven being held up by the 41 of Aubie. He can't get by him as the blue and orange passing flag is being shown to Aubie, and Craven trying to get by Jamie Aubie in car number 41 and can't do it, and Ron Linnell is once again reeling him back in. This time Aubie's number 41 drops low on the inside of the speedway, and Craven is able to clear him on the outside and continue on, and that puts the 41 of Aubie another lap down. Craven now right up behind the Hirschman, car number 1. The blue and orange move-over flag being shown to Hirschman, who up till now is on the lead lap and was running in about the 7th position. However, the number 25 of Ricky Craven is now right behind Hirschman's machine, trying to put him a lap down and also trying to protect his lead as once again Ron Linnell is starting to close up with car number 98. Billy Clark still holding that 3rd spot in car number 7, while Stub Fadden runs 4th in car number 16. The 5th place car, Kelly Moore, number 47, followed by Mike Rowe in 15. Spin turn number 2. Car number 1 of Hirschman gets a nudge and goes on around. Over there in turn number 1 and 2, he's going to refire under his own power, but that's going to bring out a caution flag. Caution is out. Caution brought out by the spin in turn number 2 of Tony Hirschman with car number 1. A lot of debris pushed up on the track by that spin over there in turn number 1 and 2, and that brought out the caution flag. Caution flag brought out a lot of infield material being kicked up onto the racetrack when the number 1 of Tony Hirschman spun down to the inside of the back straightaway. Going to be 1 to go next time by. White flag being shown on the flag stand. 1 to go next time by. If we get a caution in the last 2 laps of the race, they'll lock down the scoreboard at lap number 48. The last 2 laps must be under green. And the green waves. The restart is underway, and Ricky Craven holds the lead into turn number 1 and 2. Craven in front. Lamell is second in the 98 car. Billy Clark back in third. Under the caution, Clark closed up on the leaders and is now mounting a challenge, and he's bringing Stub Fadden with him with car number 16 as they head down the main straightaway. Clear track in front of the leaders as the caution flag got everybody tightened back up around behind the leader, and car number 25, Ricky Craven, still in command as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Ron Lamell back in the 2nd spot with car number 98 and Billy Clark holding 3rd. Stub Fadden running a tremendous race in 4th place, car number 16. The 5th place car is Kelly Moore, car number 47. He's followed by Mike Rowe with car number 15. Behind them comes Dick McCabe in the 0. Kelly Moore in car number 47 trying to hold that position, and right behind him comes Mike Rowe with car number 15 trying to take it away in that battle for 5th place as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Lead car on the main straightaway, and it's 10 laps to go. 140 laps have been completed. 10 laps to go as the leaders come by and head into turn number 1 and 2. Ricky Craven up in front, car number 25. The 98 of Ron Lamell back in the second position, while Billy Clark runs third in 7, and Stub Fadden runs fourth, car number 16. With 9 laps to go, we're taking a look at the distance between the lead car and lap traffic and the differential in speeds between these two. There is the distinct possibility that lap cars could play a role in the finish of this event. Craven still leads it with car number 25 as he's opened up about an 8-car gap between himself and the 98 of Ron Lamell, and then it's back to Billy Clark with car number 7, and then back to Stub Fadden in number 16. It's going to be 5 to go the next time by. The lead car on the main straightaway and gets a fistful of fingers indicating 5 laps to go. Kelly Moore and Mike Rowe still engaged in that battle for the 5th position. Lead car, number 25, Ricky Craven. Ron Lamell holding the 2nd spot. Billy Clark settled into 3rd. And then the battle for 4th between Kelly Moore and car number 47, and rather Stub Fadden's up there in 4th. And then the battle for 5th between the 47 of Kelly Moore and the 15 of Mike Rowe. And that one still remains to be decided. The lead car working its way through turns number 3 and 4, out of the 4th turn, onto the main straightaway, and it's 2 laps to go, 2 more times around. Ricky Craven up in front, Ron Lamell back in the 2nd spot, Billy Clark 3rd, Stub Fadden runs 4th with 2 laps to go. The lead car moving out of that 4th turn onto the main straightaway. The white flag flies for 25, Ricky Craven. Craven in front, Lamell is 2nd, and Clark 3rd as they take the 1 to go signal on the flag stand. The lead car down the back chute into turn number 3 and 4. Out of the 4th turn onto the main straightaway. Home for the checkers, number 25, Ricky Craven. Craven the winner. Lamell is 2nd. Let's watch this battle for 5th. They come off that 4th turn on the main straightaway, and it's Kelly Moore home for the 5th spot. Mike Rowe finishes 6th in car number 16 in a tough-fought battle all the way. Well, the rest of the field comes circling by. Craven comes by once again. The rest of the field comes under the checkered flag. Well, we've got victory lane ceremonies to be presented, and as soon as they are completed, you're all invited over to Gary Schwab's Perry Ice Cream and Previty Auto Wrecking sponsored race car for free Perry's ice cream. But meanwhile, we're going to be going to victory lane for those ceremonies. As you folks leave Holland Speedway tonight, we encourage you to join us every Saturday night here at Holland Speedway. The next big one, June 29th, when the stars of the Winston Cup Series will be here. We've got Terry Labonte coming in here along with Ernie Irvin. Here is the winner of tonight's Busch 150. Let's hear it for number 25, Ricky Craven. We got a fire on car number 5. Car number 5 is on fire down in the infield. Well, as you folks head for the exits, we've had a beautiful crowd and a beautiful evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Kenny and Rick and I have enjoyed presenting this show for you along with all of the rest of the folks. We appreciate your working with us with all the applause and everything. It's been tremendous. Remember the 3 exits from the parking lot. The upper exit, make a right, go up Glenwood Road, turn right on Center Street, and head for East Aurora, and go out the center exit. You can go straight across Glenwood Road and work the back roads and head for Yorkshire Corners, or you can take any of the exits and turn left, go down the hill to Route 16 and Holland Speedway. And you can see the crew on Ricky Craven's car number 25 is down there checking the tires on that car in a hurry. And we understand Ken Hangauer is right there with the story.
Well, we're down here waiting for Ricky Craven unstrapping car number 25 as he grabbed the lead in the early going, and from there on in it was a Ricky Craven night. The goggles coming off. He still has a seatbelt and shoulder harness on, and the crew is swarming around, checking tire temperatures on the McCreary tires on the car 25 of Ricky Craven. The Busch hat on the head, and waiting for Ricky Craven to climb out from behind the wheel of the car number 25. Well, Rick, first off, congratulations on a fine ride here at Holland Speedway. You took it in the early going. How about the setup on your race car? What changes did you make between qualifying? The sun was out, it was kind of hot, a lot of hot temperature in the racetrack, and the 150-lap Busch Grand National North 150.
Well, this track is really forgiving, and the only changes we made to the Speedy oil change and tune-up Chevrolet would have loosened the car up a bit. We felt with the weather the way it was, and having been to the track once already last year, that the car would tighten up. So we just loosened it up a little bit, and it was perfect. I mean, I think anybody in the stands could have drove this thing to a win today. It was really great, and the guys that we raced against were great. And I think I really think that Holland Speedway just became our favorite track.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ricky, you've become our favorite driver with that remark. How about some of the lap traffic? It looked like you were kind of having a tough time with some of the fellas out there with some of the slower cars.
Well, this track is so fast, and I think everybody is kind of comfortable here that it's hard to pass because, the cars are quite equal. And, things aren't supposed to be easy for us race car drivers. We're supposed to put on a show for the people that pay the dollars to get in here. And there are some very great race fans here that know they're racing, and hopefully we gave them their money's worth.
Ricky, how about the last restart? It looked like that Ron Lamel was right on your rear bumper, and all at once, with a few laps to go, they come back out under green, and you just took off and buried the field from there.
Well, one thing I've learned, I'm 25 years old, and I'm getting quite old to be in this business, but one thing I've learned in the years I've been racing is to use my head instead of my foot, and I didn't abuse the car the first 80, 90 laps, and luckily for me, I didn't, because Ron was really strong at the end, and he gave me everything everything that I didn't want, actually, and we had enough of a car left at the end to make that last run.
What about tires? You feel your tires were with you at the end?
I thought the tires were great, and the tires are only as good as the setup, and the setup being as good as it was, we didn't heat up either the right front or the right rear. The tires stayed equal, and that's, I got to give credit to the crew. These guys worked so hard. The last month has been incredibly hard for this team. We're leading points. This is only our second year. There's a lot of things expected of us and a lot of pressure, and these guys are holding up to it and doing a great job.
Well, this is your second of the year, and once again, we'd like to welcome you back to Holland Speedway, and certainly in the victory circle at the end of the Busch Grand National North 150. Fine ride, Rick.
Well, I appreciate it, and Monday morning I'm going to call Florida, and I'm going to talk to NASCAR and see if we can get maybe 5 or 6 races a year here.
Well, I'll tell you, the way the fan turnout was tonight, they certainly had a heck of a show. How about, ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our winner tonight, Ricky Craven in car number 25. We're going to walk over here and talk to the runner-up, Ronnie Lamel. Ron, we don't have no Tampa Close but no cigar award. You were second. How about the last restart? Ricky really seemed to get the jump. Did you miss a gear, or did you just have the stronger race car at the end?
My brakes were going in the end, and I didn't want to mess Ricky up because I didn't have any brakes and hit him or something, and I just had second wrapped up and wanted to keep it going clean. I didn't want to mess Rick up.
Was there any time during the race when you just felt maybe Ricky a little better race car?
Yeah, his car was running perfect groove. Mine, I had to keep the rear end going in a straight line. It was awful loose all half the night.
Ron, was this a very tough racetrack? You come from Thompson, it's a 5/8 of a mile, quite a considerable difference in length. Was this really a driver's racetrack here, or is it very difficult for a driver to come in here to Holland and set up his race car and have, everything balance out?
Oh, they're all different. Every track's a different animal, and you got to set up for it the way they want it. And, I can't say, I know the surface here is real nice, and it's a real good racetrack, nice banking, and I love this racetrack.
Well, how about, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice round of applause for the gentleman that finished in second spot, the pilot of car number 98, Ronnie Lamel. Good ride, Ron.
Thanks.
Well, we're going to walk back here to the Skull Bandit, the pilot of car number 7, Billy Clark, third place. Sometimes, Bill, you're going to be out there, you're going to win. Tonight was the third place. You were the early leader. You jumped out front, and what changed from the lead and then falling back to third?
Well, we've been looking at the car here. I guess we gained a little bit of stagger on the front, and the car got about 10 to 15 degrees tight on us, but I'm real pleased. We've had some good finishes, and maybe one of these days we'll win one. And the competition's really good this year, and I want to congratulate everybody in the race.
Yeah, Ricky Craven said the same thing, as the competition is absolutely awesome in Busch Grand National North Series. Billy, what changes did you make in your race car? I know you guys come out, you qualified in the bright sun, and then you come out and you ran under the lights, so how difficult was it to make changes to figure the setup for the 150 lapper?
Well, we used the same setup we used qualifying today, so it was a little bit easier in that sense for us, I guess.
Billy, I know you've run here before in the Skull Bandit car number 7. Does this compare to any of the other race courses, perhaps up in New England, as far as the banking and the size of the racetrack?
Well, it's a little bit like Thompson, but the straightaways are a lot shorter, you know. I guess that's the one I relate to the most.
Well, you had a fine run tonight, Bill. I congratulate you on a fine third-place finish. How about, ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for the pilot of car number 7, Billy Clark, and the Skull Bandit.